Nitro number 207, September 6th, 1999. Allow me to recreate the opening, the very first bit of this television program. Pyro's going off, there's dancing girls, there's music, there's cheering fans.
Ballyhoo.
Tony Schiavone is running down the show, and then he says this. We're going to start off by going to our own Mean Gene Okerlund. Music starts to play. There's more silence. Okay, fans, I'm told that I am incorrect. The information I've received is wrong. The show is not even 4 minutes old by this point, and they're already fucking everything up. Who should come out for a promo but Bret the Hitman Hart? He sucks up to the fans like a good baby face. Says he's been sitting at home too long, thinking too much. He's not ready to go back on the circuit full time. Should have said the loop. Until he gets one question answered. He wants the promoters and the fans to grant him one wish. He wants to fight Hulk Hogan.
Why?
Well, the main event make a lot of money.
I just don't get it.
And then he went on to say he didn't even want a title match.
Well, he said he certainly wouldn't. It didn't have to be for the title. It would be sweet if it was. Fans are split. Some like Bret, some like the Hulkster. Bret vows he would not come back full time until he got that match. I don't think he ever got that match, did he?
I believe he did.
Never know.
I think it sucked.
I
don't think it was ever on pay-per-view.
That sounds right.
There's some TV matches or something.
Ricky Rackman is back.
Yeah.
Yep.
He comes out on stage. He's hosting the search for the new Nitro Girl.
It's a good gig to get.
There's worse. He brings out the current roster. They all talk about how talented the Miami girls are. And there are two finalists for the Miami... two contestants, one of them who will be a finalist from Miami in the Nitro Girl Search Contest. There is Zuli, who says she likes to dance and likes to do sign language and how much it means to her when she meets a deaf person and is able to communicate and sign, and that's very nice. Second contestant is Erica, who says, I'm not making this up, I never heard of the Nitro Girls until a few months ago.
Yeah.
She said this in her interview to be a Nitro Girl.
Yeah, she's a finalist!
And they put her on TV.
Yep. Made the air.
This goes on for a while. Zuli and Erica come out. They tell the fans to go onto WCW.com and vote.
Yeah.
They plug the party in. Why did I write so much about this?
I have no fucking idea.
I don't know. Lodi versus Evan Courageous. As a plant fan smacking Lenny with a sign, he gets dragged over the guardrail and taken away.
Hey, remember last week when Kaz Hayashi pinned Lenny Lane in that bullshit tag match?
Yes.
Sweet follow-up.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because it was a singles match where they switched.
Yes.
Yeah. The Deadpool come out.
Can we talk about this fan?
Okay.
There's some bullshit fan. I presume it had to be a plant.
Had to be.
He's got a sign.
He just starts smacking Lenny Lane in the face with it.
I know, but like, I thought it was a plant, but like, he was so gangly and goofy that it was almost like, this guy's just fucking, what?
I thought it was another member of 3 Count.
No.
I'm telling you.
It was not another member.
Moore,
Do you even
Shane
remember who 3 Count was?
Well, I might have confused you for the guy in the ring.
No, it's just some numbnuts who was out there. And
This guy wasn't even a 1 count.
The camera stayed on him the whole time.
I know, it's funny.
Because it's WCW.
He was so over the top and ridiculous.
Usually when that happens, they pan away from the fan getting ejected.
Well,
because this was I don't know why, Craig. I don't know why they had a plant fan smacking Lenny Lane in the face with a sign. I don't know what it leads to. I don't know why you're supposed to care.
Nothing.
Don't know who thought it was a good idea, but it was a plant.
there's no way. It had to be real. I got to find out. But anyway, they yank this guy away, and everyone immediately stops paying attention to the match.
Yeah. Right.
Well, maybe that was the point. The Deadpool come out, the camera's on them, and misses guys doing all the dives. And Lodi, who I realized here, because I watched the Raw main event, and then watched this opener, Lodi looks like mini Billy Gunn. And then he hits a diving bulldog and a wacky DDT for the win. 15 minutes after Tony introduced him, Mean Gene shows up. He calls out Hulk Hogan. Hulk has no idea why Randy Savage was in his dressing room. He has no idea what Lex Luger is up to. This is just between him and Sting. Yes, he owns a Hummer. It's not the same Hummer that took out Kevin Nash. He was roaring something about a 6-man cage match later, and he promised to kick some ass.
When he mentioned, everybody knows I got a black Hummer in Florida.
It was white.
And a white one in California. Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
I think he messed something up there.
Good save. Good save, Hulkster.
I mean, he probably did have two at the time.
I
know.
Only two? Okay, before we get into the segment in detail, there were bigger atrocities in the Monday Night Wars, but usually they involved somebody screwing something up or getting hurt or something like that.
Holy shit. Hold on a second. I'm looking at the Nitro report because I'm trying to figure out what Dave wrote about that plant. The show drew 3,800 fans.
Wow.
4,600 comps. Holy
So they
fuck.
So
They
negative
gave
people,
away...
people had free tickets and still didn't go.
Yes.
Hey, I watched the show.
No, you add them together.
I see.
So there were...
3,800 paid.
Yeah,
46.
10,000 in the building, but 3,800 paid, 4,605 comps. And by the way, they did give away a lot of comps and the guys never showed up.
Yeah. So on that note, I believe outside of where things, as far as segments where everything went according to plan, this may have been the worst segment of the entire Monday Night Wars. Nothing went wrong here. Everything went exactly like it was supposed to go. All right? Keep all that in mind.
Okay, so it was a plan. C.G. Offee. Who was that?
CV Offee?
Yeah.
The Islanders partners?
Oh, that guy wasn't one of the Islanders.
He was a big man.
Tony Mamaluke.
Oh! Why did they do this to Tony Mamaluke?
He was a skinny geek.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get pulled through a guardrail.
Yeah, the guy that got pulled through the guardrail, they bill him here as 5'11" and 219 pounds. Get out of here.
Is that including the guardrail?
No.
Yeah, so that was him.
That guy's got to jump around in the shower to get wet.
That's your favorite line.
I do like that one.
There have been a lot of skinny guys on this show lately, apparently. All right. So this segment, which I built up to and then Brian distracted from, the worst segment of the Monday Night Wars.
Where everything went right.
Yes. Barry Horowitz wrestled an unidentified man.
Al Green.
Eventually, we were told it was Al Green. Barry Horowitz comes out. Graphic comes up. Barry Horowitz. If you've watched wrestling, he's been on Nitro before. He was in WWF for years. Never ever won except for that one feud with Chris Candido. But we know who he is. He comes out. And then out comes a guy. He's thick. He's energetic. He's got bleached blonde hair. He's yelling and screaming and spitting. There is no graphic. And the announcers are not talking about him at all. And this human comes out to wrestle. And he gets in the ring and begins to do moves with Barry Horowitz.
Yeah.
They're doing headlocks. They're doing a wrestling match. It's fine, but
No one cares.
it's going on. Minutes pass. Several minutes pass. The announcers are talking about a contest where the winner's going to get $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's all they care about.
Yeah, well, of course they fucking care about it. You have to watch to have a chance to win $1 million. They're bribing you.
And some people said, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
They're bribing you to watch this fucking show.
So several minutes go by.
This is not worth $1 million.
Not for a chance at $1 million. A
Chance.
slim chance at $1 million. Finally, Shivani just mumbles, it's Al Green and Barry Horowitz. Then, rather than to spend any time talking about what's going on, they begin to talk about a battle royal for later in the show.
Yep.
So then this segment,
Oh, will we ever get into that?
this segment, which has been horrible up to this point, gets many, many degrees worse because piano music starts to play. The maestro makes his debut. He is lowered from the ceiling on a platform over by the stage. He's tickling the ivories. And then at the exact same time, Sid Vicious is coming down the ramp with the referee.
Not only that, he's coming down the aisle and he's screaming, Mr. Excitement is here!
And meanwhile, you hear just... doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Yes, he kills them as piano music plays, which actually was great.
Yes.
All I know
give
is
them that.
All I know is, as Barry Horowitz is wrestling Man A, and the maestro is playing, I assume it's a network edit, because what he's doing with his hands is clearly not matching up with the music.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was the way it was in real life.
Maybe it was, I don't know. Sid is screaming his head off. I laughed so hard. I was laughing and laughing and laughing at this clusterfuck.
I'm presuming that the maestro was just a gimmick.
I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it was a gimmick then, too.
This might
It's a detail.
mean nothing to either of you, but there was a maestro character on Seinfeld. And I wonder which one came first.
I guarantee you Seinfeld came first. Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld was not stealing ideas from World Championship Wrestling.
You're probably right.
Maybe they came around independently. 1995.
There you go.
Seinfeld came first.
So the music eventually stops. Sid powerbombs dudes. His record goes up. Sid calls out Benoit. He promises to have a better record than Sting, Hogan, or Goldberg.
Well, he already beat two of them.
The West Texas Rednecks are having a meeting.
Oh,
They're in the locker room, and there's only 3 of them.
one of the rare gems on this show.
Kurt
Hideously, atrociously bad.
Kurt Hennig
but funny.
explains that Harlem Heat injured Bobby Duncan's shoulder and knee.
Yeah.
He's on the shelf. He's going to be out for months. What are we going to do?
They don't explain how, by the way.
Yeah, Harlem Heat.
I thought, man. I mean, they did later, but like here they didn't.
Yeah.
They're just talking about it like we should know why.
Yeah. At this point, the door kicks open. We see the silhouette of a cowboy with a bright light and smoke behind him. They should have played the good, and bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly theme there. Yeah, and there should have been spurs jingling as he walked in. It's Vincent with a cowboy hat. He says he wants to be a redneck. They call him Curly Bill. Promise to give him a chance to prove himself tonight.
He's not kidding, Rob.
Rob's crying over there right now. You should have seen it.
Isn't that the sheriff from Blazing Saddles?
You'd have cried twice.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's where the Curly Bill comes from. Harlem Heat comes out for a promo.
I got to do this one. Booker T comes out and he says, "We're here to burn this mother down and also turn this mother up." If you understand what I'm saying.
No,
Nope. Don't understand.
I don't think you can do both.
Stevie then says, "We're here to take out 3 fruit booties, if you know what I'm saying."
No idea.
Actually, I did know what he was saying. I'm going to take out 3 fruit booties.
I don't know what a fruit booty is.
They admit they ran fucking over Bobby Duncombe Jr. They fucking ran him over. They're just here admitting it on television. We ran his ass over. Vowed to become the 9-time champions. Booker T then says, I wrote this down word for fucking word. "Me and my brother, we like nitrous oxide. We could take you to the moon and back 2 times, if you understand what I'm saying." Anyone?
Well, you can buy the nitrous in balloon form at some concerts. Usually fish.
Wait, he said something about how the other tag teams in the division do not have enough power.
Okay.
Harlem Heat has enough power to get to the moon and back twice. So you're glossing over the best part of this.
No, I'm not.
Which is when Booker says, "We're going to raise the roof." And he throws his hands up. In the process, he knocks the microphone out of Mean Gene's arm.
Yes.
And Mean Gene looks at it, and in the most professional thing he's ever done, rather than make Booker look like a geek for knocking the mic out of his hand, Gene starts to raise the roof. Like, he's just too excited. And he picks up the mic, and Gene apologizes to Booker. That was amazing.
Well, Booker is a large man.
Well, that's 2. So Stevie Ray didn't just say they'd be 9-time tag team champions. He says they'll be 9-time tag team champions. So if you ever want to know where Booker got his 5-time world champion line, he stole it from his own brother. Sting and Lex going... Oh, my God. I totally forgot about this. All right. Sting and Lex Luger go into Hulk Hogan's locker room. They find Hulk Hogan talking to Bret the Hitman Hart. They're sitting down having a nice, polite conversation like gentlemen. Sting and Lex come like maniacs. They demand 5 minutes of Hogan's time. Hogan's pissed off, but he says, "I'll grant you 5 minutes. It won't take that long." He walks away. At this point, the screen goes dark.
Went to commercial.
I am watching this in 2018 on the network. I assumed it had gone to commercial.
Yes.
Based on what the announcers were saying,
It didn't look like it.
they didn't go to commercial here. The lights just went out. And they came back on 4 seconds later. That's what they said.
That's what it looked like.
They're idiots.
I know, but...
There's absolutely a commercial here.
In 4 seconds, the lights go out, the lights come back on.
No, this is impossible.
That's what they said. I promise you. I promise you.
No, you're right, Vince.
The announcers
No, this is
said-
impossible.
Because I wrote down they went
no,
to commercial. And they
I
came
cannot.
back.
I cannot.
Listen.
No.
No.
I can't, Vinny. There's no fucking way. There's no.
I wrote down
No!
the commercial and came back. And then the announcers corrected me and said the lights went out and back on.
No!
So in this flick of the lights, someone managed to silently concuss Sting, lay him out unconscious, and also turn a couch over on top of him.
No. There's a break. I don't care what they said.
There was no break on
No,
that.
Craig. They're just not.
Now,
I'll quit this show.
listen, Brian.
No.
Even if you're right, they go to commercial and they come back. Everyone's still where they had been.
Yes.
So I assume Hogan, in your world, Hogan and Sting and Brett must have all left. Someone attacked Sting and put a couch on him.
Yeah.
Then Hogan, Sting, and Brett returned in the dark.
Yeah.
And then the cameraman turned the lights on, and then they found him.
Yes.
That's your theory.
I mean, yeah. There's no way Hogan turned around and 2 seconds later there's a fucking couch on top of Sting and he's been concussed.
Yeah. So, security pulls Lex away.
Yeah. Hogan's yelling at Luger saying, "You did this. You're setting me up." Luger denies it.
Do either of you follow Backyard Wrestling Without Context on Twitter?
Yes.
This was exactly like a Backyard Wrestling Without Context Backyard Wrestling Without Context clip, only A, it was not Backyard Wrestling, and B, there was context. But it still made no sense.
Well, then it wasn't context.
We have reached the Battle Royal.
Okay. I wrote every word of this down.
Jeez.
Word for word. Are you ready?
Fine.
They announced that something is going on. I presumed later. It turns out tonight. They fucking put on the screen. It fills the entire goddamn screen, these words. There's going to be a battle royal. Here's what it says. First 4 thrown over the top rope are eliminated. Next 6 eliminated will wrestle against each other later tonight in singles matches. Based on the order of elimination, final 2 men will fight for the shot at world title next week, regardless of who wins at Fall Brawl. An entire fucking screen of words.
For a Battle Royal.
Can't you just have a fucking battle royal
Just do it.
and then have a match with the 2 winners? What's with all the extra bullshit?
So, the competitors in this 12-man Battle Royal were 3 sets of 4. You know, Jimmy Hart's crew.
Jerry Flynn, Hugh Morris, Brian Knobbs, and the Barbarian.
Mm-hmm. You have the Revolution of Dean Malenko, Shane Douglas, Chris Benoit, and Perry Saturn. And the West Texas Rednecks of Kurt Hennig, the Wyndham Brothers, and Vincent.
Yes.
Except Kurt Hennig never gets in the ring.
Yes.
Kurt Hennig does not want to fight for the world title.
He's my hero.
Well, he also didn't want to be in the shitty-ass Battle Royal.
This was not the all-in battle royal.
No.
This was a terrible Battle Royal.
It was fucking...
By this, most Battle Royals are terrible. This is on the low end of the Battle Royal spectrum. It's going on and on and on. There's a bunch of eliminations. Finally, just a bunch all at once. And it comes down to the final 2 of Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko. And I am to believe that Benoit and Malenko will wrestle later, and the winner will wrestle Hulk Hogan next week.
Yes.
Okay. Color me skeptical.
Well, unless Hogan loses the title.
I guess that's true. There's the pay-per-view. Now, we'll get to all that later. So it was terrible and long and terrible. Crowd was training for Goldberg. That tells you anything. Johnny Swinger versus Prince Iaukea. It went 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Where are they getting these guys?
Can we just stop for a second and just tell everyone that it was Prince Iaukea versus Johnny Swinger?
We can let that sink in.
Are you absolutely fucking kidding me?
That happened.
They're unopposed again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It went on fucking forever.
Yeah. I don't think it was that long. I think
It felt like it.
they went 1,000,000 miles an hour, and the fans didn't care. Were chanting boring the whole time.
I mean, Johnny Swinger actually looked pretty good. Iaukea looked terrible.
By
Nobody,
IKEA standards,
nobody cared.
nobody cared. The highlight of this match, Swinger grabs Prince Iaukea and does a cravat leg sweep. And Shivani says, "That's a great move by the Prince." And then the Prince is down selling. Swinger sits up and smiles. Like 10 seconds go by, and Shivani cannot adjust his worldview to realize this was a move by Swinger. He says, Iaukea got the worst of that one somehow. Like, he had no idea what was going on. Crowd is chanting for Sid. They do not get Sid.
So was I, actually.
They get the Deadpool instead. Violent J trips Swinger. Vampiro hits the Michinoku driver, and Iaukea pins him. Is Vampiro going out of his way to produce the worst stable in wrestling history? He wants to recruit Evan
I
Courageous
can't take much more of this.
and Prince Iaukea.
I can't take much more.
My favorite thing about
We're going to
Vampiro-
talk more about this.
The Vampiro, when he attacks, he literally does it inches away from the ref.
Yeah.
He doesn't sneak at all.
The show sucks. It's a bunch of idiots doing shit.
Buff Bagwell's doing an autograph session when Houston interrupted, but Berlin and his new bodyguard, who would later be known as The Wall,
Oh,
You didn't know who that was?
You didn't recognize the wall?
I was paying so little attention to the show at this point. All I know is Bagwell signing autographs in Berlin. I didn't look at who else was there. I fell asleep or something. The fucking wall's there now.
The wall is here.
Jesus.
So Buff makes fun of Berlin for not having a shirt on sale. Berlin cuts a promo on him in German. Everyone lets him finish, then boos, and security has to hold Buff back. Buff Bagwell versus Steven Regal.
Why do we even bother? Just a bullshit match. Dave Taylor hits Buff with a flagpole. Bagwell hits a blockbuster, wins. I will give them I will say one positive thing. The fans cared about Buff.
See,
this is the first match of like 9 matches that anybody give a shit about anything.
In this match, you had Steven Regal, who's a great wrestler, and Buff Bagwell is a great cartoon character, and it was a good match for that reason.
Yeah, for
I
like
enjoyed
1
this.
minute.
It would not much longer than that. And okay, well that's it. Buff gets a promo saying he loves Miami and the USA. At Fall Brawl, Berlin will be fighting the whole US.
Allow me.
Please, be my guest.
They're fucking unopposed. Last week there was one fucking good match on the show. It was Eddie Guerrero and I don't remember who was in it. It was a bunch
Tag
of
match.
Eddie and
luchadors.
Ray and somebody else.
So this week they've got Eddie Guerrero, Kidman, Chavo, Psychosis, Blitzkrieg, and Hoovy. Instead of going in there and doing an all-action 6-man lucha libre
fucking trios
extravaganza,
match.
they fucking go in there and they do an American-style heat on Kidman. Everyone's standing on the fucking apron in front of a dead crowd. Just the most boring-ass match. There's a hot tag, like maybe 2 dives. Eddie hits a frog splash for the pin. Could you have like a worse usage of talent? The show is not even funny in its badness. It's just fucking bad and boring.
Why was Juventud dressed like Kidman?
Gives a shit.
No, this is worth talking
Why did they
about.
do an American-style match?
Because. So, Hoovy apparently thought it'd be a funny rib to put on a wife beater and jorts and wrestle like Billy Kidman. And this made Tony Schiavone confused because he could not tell Billy Kidman and Juventud Guerrera apart, even though one is 4 inches shorter and tattooed and Mexican. Yeah, so it went on for a while. The Deadpool came fucking back out, and Eddie won with a frog splash. And I wrote, it was a spectacle. I don't know if in a good way or not.
We've got to move on.
Kendall Windham versus Shane Douglas.
Kendall Windham and Shane Douglas?
It's a real match, everyone. A real match while the wrestling war is going on and you're fighting for your life.
Painful. Nobody gave a shit about Shane Douglas.
Yeah.
Nobody
you don't
gave a
fucking
shit
say.
about Kendall Windham.
Shane Douglas, fresh off being the franchise in ECW, and whatever you want about him, he had his success as a mean guy who pissed off the fans, and here he's supposed to be the hot young babyface in peril.
Kurt Hennig waffles Douglas. The Revolution is watching on the monitor. They don't do anything.
They don't give a fuck.
They're just like, damn it! Let's keep watching. Harlem Heat runs down.
Thank God for Harlem Heat, I guess.
Did a split screen, so I don't know what the fuck they did.
I had no idea. I was so confused.
But Douglas hits a Pittsburgh plunge and wins, which at least got a pop. That's the only thing that got a reaction in this match.
Yep.
They plug videotapes.
Yep.
I'm just moving forward here.
Then from Shane Douglas and Kendall, when do we get Jerry Flynn and Barry Windham? This will alarm you, but there are boring chants here. Here's the finish. Vincent beats up Jerry Flynn on the floor. He throws him in, and Barry hits a DDT and wins.
I guess he grabbed his neck and just like fell asleep. They both fell down. Wyndham's on top and wins.
Going through the motions, absolute bare minimum effort put into this pro wrestling match.
Horrifying.
Mean Gene awkwardly brings Berlin out for a promo.
Finally, something good. I like Berlin. He's got a good look. He's got great delivery.
He's got a great gimmick.
He's got a great gimmick.
The easy, great gimmick of the guy who can speak English but chooses not to because it's too...
Yes.
He's above it.
We got Udo Ludendorff, who cannot remember her lines to save her life, as a professional actress.
She can't remember her lines, and I'm certain she's reading a few cards.
Well, every now and then he would talk to her off mic, and then she'd say...
See, I watched this. Part of me thinks she forgot her lines, and Berlin had to feed her stuff. Part of me think the gimmick was that he was specifically telling her what to say and didn't want the crowd to hear him. I don't know. It's fucking Berlin. Who cares? But it was fun.
I care.
It was fun.
One guy on the show I kind of care about for this week.
Berlin.
It won't last.
No,
I'm pretty sure, by the way, it was just Una Lundorf last week, and they changed it to Lutendorf this week.
Yes.
So
It'll be Farfalutendorf next week.
all I know is Una Lutendorf screwing up her lines is still a better promo than like half the wrestlers of 2018.
Yes.
This was fun. And the best part is they finish, and they're going to the back, and Shivani says something to wrap it up, and Heenan adds, and that's all you need to know. Baron Von Raschke tribute.
Yes.
Hugh Morris versus Perry Saturn. So, a quick aside, they also sent best wishes to Brian Hildebrand, and Heenan called him the only referee I've ever liked, which is probably a shoot. So, Hugh Morris and Perry Saturn, are there ever two guys who had more physical gifts and did less with them? They were not very good. They could do all kinds of cool shit. They had really bad matches more often than not.
Well, I mean, Saturn...
Mostly Hugh.
It's mostly Hugh Morris.
It was mostly Hugh. That's boring ass match, and that's before we got the long chin lock.
Hugh Morris,
I'm watching this fucking
future
match.
WWE trainer, almost killed Saturn with a press slam off the top.
Gosh. Yeah. I was traveling this weekend, and on my way home Sunday night, I was trapped in an airplane with nothing to read and nothing to watch, and just listening to my phone and staring at the seat an inch in front of my face. That was more fun than watching this Nitro. Saturn made his comeback. The fuck happened? Hugh missed a moonsault. Saturn hit a judo throw in the rings of Saturn for the win. Do either of you have the time and energy to recap the Road Report segment?
No. 1-800-CALL-ATT. That's all I got out of it. There was a good-looking girl at a pool. This fucking guy apparently had to call for his job and had to call collect.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Stupid.
He was also laying on a Grateful Dead beach towel.
Well, there you go. See, you guys are way better.
Okay.
All I got out of this was it was fucking terrible. Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko. This was a wrestling show in front of wrestling fans who wanted nothing more than to watch good wrestling. When they got a good wrestling match, they really, really liked it for 3 minutes.
Well, actually, when they first started wrestling, the crowd is dead because the show is so terrible. These guys are working their asses off. And finally, they did some spot, and the crowd gave them this big ovation.
Yeah, they woke up.
I thought, finally, they fucking woke this crowd up. And then out comes this motherfucker Sid.
That should have been his name. That motherfucker Sid.
And you know what's funny? I'd been begging for this fucker to come out all night long. Where the fuck were you during the Kendall Windham match? Where the fuck were you during the Barry Windham match? Where the fuck were you during the Hugh Morris match? Where the fuck were you during the Prince Ikea match? Where the fuck were you during any of these matches? The one fucking match he has to come out is Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko at the end of the show? Fuck you! I hate this show!
Yeah. So he has the worst brawl of all time with Dean Malenko, where they both freeze and get deer in the headlights looks, and then he power bombs him.
Yeah, Malenko cocks his fist, and Sid freezes, and Malenko freezes, and then Sid boots him. Oh, this shitty game of chicken.
Sid goes after Benoit. Benoit backdrops him out of the ring. At this point, Tony Schiavone says, well, there can't be a DQ because he attacked both men. Has there been a DQ in every match over the past several weeks when Sid's attacked both men?
Well,
Or because Sid did not pin either of these guys
he
here?
didn't pin him, so I
there's
don't
no finish
fucking
anything.
know. The show is horrid.
Crowd was pissed off now. They had been liking this match, and Sid ruined it. They're chanting bullshit. They were correct. Rick Steiner and Sid and DDP.
Help me. What was this match supposed to be? Does anybody know?
Yes.
Well, okay, what was the advertised match?
It was originally booked as Steiner, Sid, and Page versus Hogan, Goldberg, and Sting.
Correct.
So it started as 3-on-2 because maybe Sting was still under the couch.
Huh.
Sure. He'd gotten hurt earlier in the show, you see.
So Hogan comes out by himself. Like a dipshit, he gets into the cage. They all start triple teaming him. Goldberg comes out doing his entrance. Now, in his defense, he's like amid the pyro, so he can't fucking see. So he has no idea that Hogan's getting beat up. But then pyro clears, and he still just strides down to the ring. Don't worry, I'll fix it when I get there. The cage had a rough for Christ knows what reason. They do this match.
That's one of your problems with this?
That's not a problem, but I thought that I could wait for something to happen with the roof. It was just in their way. They were still trying to do top rope moves and stuff. Oh, so it's a 3-on-2 match. Everyone's brawling. Sting appears on the ramp. Lex tries to hold him back. Sting powers his way through, enters the cage. Huge pop for his comeback. They all hit their moves. Hogan pins Page with a leg drop. So, okay.
Actually, that's not what happened, Vinny.
It's not?
He hits the damn leg drop. The referee drops down.
Yes.
He counts 1. He counts 2. He holds up his count. The fans chant 3. The guy rings the bell. Why did he fucking hold up his count?
I don't have an answer.
What the fuck's going on?
I don't know.
Aside from it's WCW, they can't do anything right.
I don't know. Well, on the subject of WCW doing nothing right, if you have not been able to tell from this show, this was the go-home show for Spring Stampede and the Hulk Hogan versus Sting main event.
Fall Brawl.
Fall Brawl, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's Fall, as Craig noted earlier. I was not listening. The main event for Fall Brawl is Sting versus Hulk Hogan, and they go off the air in the go-home show in this method. Hogan pins Page.
Yes.
Lex Luger comes out and begins to argue with Sting.
Yes.
And then Sting and Lex trade punches. And they go off the air.
What happened
What
is...
the fuck?
Sting and Luger are yelling at each other. Okay? They're screaming back and forth. Sting finally, he's like, I'm done with you. And he turns around and he starts to walk towards the ropes. Fucking Lex Luger walks up to him and just punches him in the face and then walks away. They don't start a brawl.
No.
Luger just walks up and he punches him in the face and then he backs up and Sting turns around and goes, what'd you do that for?
He punches him back.
And then he punches him.
Yeah.
And then they go off the air.
What are you doing, dude?
What are they doing?
That was so dumb.
Why did Luger just walk up and punch him?
I don't know.
I hate this show.
This was a terrible show. This was much worse than Raw in hindsight. Raw was no good.
Oh, dude, it was worse than Raw. It was worse than last night's Raw. And there was one good thing on last night's Raw.
That's true.
This was 1,000 times worse. I wrote 10 times on Twitter, I'm wrong. Easily 1,000 times worse than last night's Raw here in 2018. Just another great example. RD should have showed up, put this fucking tape on the screen, mic drop, and walk the fuck out. This is indefensible, this show.
Music, please. The finishes on this show were pin after distraction, no finish when Sid powerbombed 2 dudes in the middle of a concerto, technically no finish in a battle royal, at least not yet, pin after interference, pin despite interference, clean pin in a trios match, the first on the show, pin after interference, clean submission, no finish due to Sid, clean pin in a 6-man cage match.
Jesus, how long was this show?
Fucking long.
35 minutes to go through a bunch of shitty finishes.
Yeah.
Or 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Russo's got to show up soon. Like, Raw has got to get better.
Suddenly,
Here's what it is,
he's
okay?
the savior.
Raw needs to get better, and Nitro needs to get worse, or I can no longer do this job. Do you understand? I cannot take it the way that it is right now.
I see your point, but you're exactly right. Oh, gosh. Well, let's end the show.
I came back from All In Weekend for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're out of time, everybody. I'm out. We'll be back. Fuck it, who cares?
Yep.
Talk to you again after a while.
Good night.
Bye. Nitro number 208, September 13th, 1999. 7 minutes passed, nothing happened, and then Chris Benoit wrestled Dean Malenko.
Okay.
Rob's beckoning to us again. What's going on here, Rob?
I'm so sorry. It's past the point now. I was just going to let you know, in case you were really interested, the whole referee thing. There was a mass resignation of Major League umpires in 1999.
See, there we go. I told you. Hey, point to the mic next time so I know you want to actually talk.
Okay.
You're just beckoning to me. All right, we all got it now?
Hey.
I'm going to give him signal flags.
It's not even signal flags. Every now and then he just nods at me. Hey! Hey!
Brian nods back.
Oh, yeah, point to the mic.
How you doing?
You're a very handsome man, Brian. I'm sorry.
I'm aware of that. That's why I need more clues that you want to talk.
That was Craig.
Yeah.
All right, we ready here?
As I noted, 7 minutes of Nitro went by with absolutely jack all nothing happening.
Yep.
Chris Benoit versus Dean Malenko. They're buddies. The title shot on the line, allegedly. They start brawling on the floor, and Shane Douglas and Saturn break them up and say, no.
I can't believe Vince is already pissed off at this show for like the best thing on the show.
This was a great match.
This was a great match.
Well, it was
way better than last week.
It was by the end.
Fans went nuts for the superplex spot.
They booed when they start when Shane and Saturn made them stop brawling on the floor. The fans booed,
sure.
and then 5 minutes later was a great wrestling match, and they cheered.
Yeah.
So that happened. They start doing near falls. Dean has a superplex, but Benoit turns into a cradle for the win. It was a very fun TV match.
Great
Yeah,
finish.
Dynamite Kid finish right there.
I don't know what I was thinking about saying Raw may have been the better show.
I don't know what you were talking about, dude. And by the way, they recapped the pay-per-view where Sting won the title and turned heel.
Okay, they did mention it?
Yep.
Yes, they
Okay.
did.
Harlem Heat won the titles for the 9th time.
Right.
All of that happened.
Mean Gene brings out Ric Flair for a promo.
Yeah, Bischoff's gone, Flair's back.
Amazing.
He says, I haven't watched this show in 10 weeks. I watched it last week, realized I need to come back.
Okay.
That is exactly what he said, and
It's a good explanation.
he's not wrong.
No one has ever shot on wrestling shows more than Ric Flair in his promos in the late 90s.
Yes.
He just tells the truth.
Funny you decided to come back in the Carolinas.
Yeah. He laughs off all the stupid stuff he'd done on TV for the past 6 months. The heart attack, the institutions, all that crap.
Laughed it off.
Yep.
Never happened.
Well, it happened. He just doesn't care anymore.
It was funny.
Brags about his kids. Talks about Sting being the new world champion. Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game, is appalled that Sting would hit Hulk Hogan in the head with a baseball bat to win the world title.
But yeah, he's a despicable type, but he has a great respect for the young Stinger. He can't believe that he is moving to the dark side.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, that actually makes some sense. Sting and Lex come out. So when Gene called out Flair 10 minutes ago, Tony says, wait a minute. This isn't on our format. It's Ric Flair. So out comes Sting and Lex, and Flair's response is, hey, you need to read the format. It says Ric Flair in big letters.
10 minutes. That's what the format said. Ric Flair, 10
Ric
minutes.
Flair, 10 minutes.
He wanted
yes.
his whole goddamn 10 minutes.
He wanted his time. Sting starts talking about how he and Flair go way, way back, and we are right up to the Clash in the retro NWA reviews. It's exactly what Sting's talking
bizarre.
about here. It's amazing.
Yeah, Flair is too. He goes, I made you a millionaire. I made you famous.
Yeah.
I made you the most promising young star in the sport. I'm like, we're watching that this weekend.
Spoilers, dude. So Sting says Flair has repeatedly stabbed him in the back. Fact.
It is a fact.
But out of respect for all their battles, he's going to offer Flair a chance to leave peacefully and gracefully. So Ric Flair, he's fiery and defiant, and he stops and says, okay, you're right. And he starts to leave, he steps out of the ring, and he steps back he steps back to the mic and says, not!
He and Gene both said not.
For those of you who keep historical records and stats and that kind of thing, September 13th, 1999, the most uncool moment of Ric Flair's life. So everyone's just yammering on for a while about nothing.
This went on too long. Luger starts talking.
Yeah. Are you saying those two facts are connected?
Yeah.
Eventually, Lex sucker punches Flair. They put him in the torture rack. They put him in the Scorpion. An hour goes by. Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart round to make the save. Hogan cuts a promo. Challenges them to a tag match. I know I've mentioned it before, but it makes me laugh every week. You've never seen a man so happy after being in the... He's had to sell tickets to fights for 20 years now. And finally, he's just allowed to say, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, he's wanted to the whole time, and now he can. And so literally, by the end of this, he's just pointing at the ramp saying, we're going to kick your ass! We're going to kick your ass! We're going to kick your ass! Over and over again.
He's been doing that for a few weeks now.
It has been a few weeks, but the novelty is not worn off.
No.
So he went on so... Oh, it's after the commercial we see Sting and Lex.
But before you go on, if you go back 1 year, I think it was exactly a year ago, or a little over a year ago, that Luger beat Hogan for the title and then lost it back at Road Wild.
Yeah.
Right.
He has aged so much in the last year. What happened to Lex Luger? He suddenly looks like a fucking old man out
The
there.
ravaging effect of time.
I have a couple of theories, but
I mean, there are a few, but man, it's like he just got so old all of a sudden.
So Sting and Lex got bored during this promo and went to the back. And they cut back there where they're watching it on a monitor. And Sting points out, so he's going to pray and then kick our ass?
right.
What a hypocrite. And Sting is exactly right.
Yes.
Lex says he didn't bring his gear.
And he doesn't have medical clearance, he says.
And no medical clearance. I had some technical issues in this show as well. It's another reason I'm in a crappy mood. So I missed the medical issues part until they talked about it later. Clips of the Hogan match from the pay-per-view. There was a bat, there was DDP, there was Sid. Sting won. Berlin and his crew showed up.
So on the board, somebody mentioned that Berlin isn't around long because of Columbine.
Right.
That's actually not true. No, Columbine was in
before this.
April.
Yeah.
Yes. They started vignettes, and then Columbine occurred. So they killed the vignettes. They axed the vignettes. And then months later, they brought him in. And I don't know why he leaves a second time. He's only here for like a few months, and that's it.
I think the build ended up being longer than his actual tenure.
Yes.
So,
Kind of like Emelina.
so at exactly this point in the show, I texted you guys to let you know I was running behind and would be late. And then I hit play again. Out comes Ricky Rackman. Made us some time right away.
I'd love to recap this, Vinny. You should have
Have at
watched it.
Have
All right.
at it.
So first he comes out. The show's off the rails by this point, by the way.
Yeah, first hour.
Yeah. I thought the first hour was better than it was. So he says, we got a video package for one of our contestants here tonight. Allow me to introduce you to Zuli.
Girl from last week.
Fucking last week!
Yep.
Why are we watching this again?
Who knows?
Then he says, now we've got a video for Allison. She's new. I have no idea, by the way, why you're supposed to care about this contest. And he says, Ashley Beck is next. Shows her video. She explains, I've been watching wrestling since the mid-'80s. Dusty Rhodes, the Four Horsemen. And at least she's a fan. So they go back to the ramp. And it's Kimberly and what's the other girl's name? Spice?
That was one of them.
Yeah.
There's Spice, Fire, Whisper,
I think it was Spice.
Charmel.
The skinny one with short hair.
Yeah, though. The real petite
I
one.
like the short one. Short one's my favorite. Short hair one.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Spice,
That's
right?
Spice?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, look it up while I explain this. So they're there,
Oh, girl, Spice.
and Kimberly says, let me explain to y'all how to vote. Did you find out yet, Vinny?
I sure did. Yeah.
Spice?
That's Spice.
what I thought.
Spice is my favorite Nitro girl.
All right.
Really?
So she's explaining how to vote. And then Kimberly says, if you'd like to be a Nitro girl, you need to have personality and you need to know how to move. And she's in the middle of explaining this, and Ricky Rackman grabs the mic and he says, but please don't be ugly. No ugly chicks. And Kimberly rolls her eyes and they cut away.
Nice job, Ricky.
Sounds awesome. Oh,
I am
my
not
God.
making that up.
Oh, Christ.
He's not wrong.
Craig.
Did you ever see an ugly Nitro girl?
JJ is on the phone. All women are beautiful, you jackass.
Understood. Some are better than others, though.
Finds out Luger not only has been cleared, he's been cleared for 3 weeks. Ugh.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going to keep going.
He's
Disco
looking at Nitro
Inferno
girls.
versus Eric Watts. Yeah, you want to try to get Eric Watts instead?
You distracted him with Nitro
I want to
girls.
get through this fucking thing here.
Eric Watts is out there in worse pants than Disco.
It's true.
He was terrible, but he was funny.
His disco dancing.
Okay.
He mocked Disco's dance.
I have a new respect for Disco Inferno after watching Eric Watts try to do his dance.
He did a goofy standing splash.
Did he think it would look cool?
Yeah.
Was he trying to look cool or was he trying to look funny?
He looked like a guy getting pushed off a diving board. Doing a splash.
He stands on one foot and sticks his arms out like teeters and teeters
And falls on him.
and just falls on him
Yeah.
slowly. I don't know if it's supposed to be cool or not.
No, it wasn't.
So something weird happened with the crowd audio. I thought maybe they were chanting something obscene and had to censor it out. Then the camera zooms in on a sign. Zooms in on a sign
God.
that says, boring, where's Sid? Sid's watching backstage, just hanging out. They just barely show Disco hitting the chart buster for the win.
This was a worldwide fucking disaster. This segment right here. I cannot. To cut to a sign that says, boring, where's Sid? I was like, oh my God. They weren't wrong. But like, if you know it's boring, why did you put it on television? Comes
So,
out.
Sid comes out, kills Disco, kills Watts, pins them both.
No, he pinned Watts.
Do you not pin Disco?
No, it's very important because Bobby could not figure out what was a win and what was just a move. A win is a pin. So he pinned Watts. He did not pin Disco.
So he put Disco over.
Then he cut a promo. But later he did powerbomb Disco and pinned him a second time. Or he powerbombed him a second
Oh,
time.
who cares?
Vinny, this is very important for historical purposes. We need to know the right number of wins.
So Sid cuts a promo. He says, Mr. Heenan.
Yeah.
He accuses Mr. Heenan of stereotyping him as a big dumb guy.
Well,
If the shoe fits.
it's not a stereotype.
Side note, remember when Brett called him a big stupid dummy on Raw?
I do.
So he also talked about Mr. Hogan and Mr. Hart, and then Billy Boy.
Yeah. No respect for Billy Boy.
Billy Boy, and I'm thinking, what issue does Sid have with Billy Kidman? Legit, I was confused until they talked about Bill Goldberg at the end. I said, oh, right.
Yeah.
Bill Goldberg, Billy Boy. Got it. So he says, whether it is a battle of wits.
Wither?
Are you making fun of me or Sid? I don't know.
You.
Okay.
Unless he said wither.
I think he said wither.
I'm making fun of both of you.
Whether it's a battle of wits or a physical battle, everyone comes unarmed.
It's not the worst promo of 1999. Do you understand? It's just not.
He puts the U.S. title over. He calls Goldberg trash.
I loved it.
Silver King and Norman Smiley had a fun lucha match for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sid came out again and got booed. There was actually good wrestling going on, and the fans all booed.
Right.
So they booed Sid. So he power bombs them both, pins them both. Not a DQ, mind you. Sid is the winner of this match twice.
And by the way, I want to say one thing about this. After he gets his pin, he goes to the announce booth, and he alerts the announcers in a very intimidating manner that he is now 84-0.
That's correct.
And they're like, yes, Mr. Sid, you're 84-0. Why didn't they do this on day one? It was weeks
It would have made more sense.
when they pretended that this was a real number. Like, if you would have come out on day one and said, listen, motherfuckers, okay, I'm 55-0 right now. And if anyone would have opened their mouth, he would just chastise them and said, I'm 55-0, keep track. Then the whole thing would have made sense.
You're right.
Lord Steven Regal and Dave Taylor versus the Wyndham Brothers.
I was done with this show for a while.
Where's Sid?
Yeah. Where's that guy with the sign?
Nothing happening, going nowhere, heel teams. There's Tate turns doing moves and cheating. No one cares. A four-way breaks out. Hennig clunks Regal with a cowbell and Barry pins him. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
It was all right.
It's supposed to be Jerry Flynn and Prince Iaukea, but Goldberg comes out instead. He apologizes to Flynn for interrupting. Cuts a promo on Sid, and now everyone's cheering. Finally Goldberg has acknowledged him. Says he admires Sid's size and his strength, but he will not stand for his mouth. And tonight he's going to put a stop to all this. And he calls out Sid repeatedly. In the cut backstage, Sid very calmly says, this will happen when I say it happens. And he grabs his bags and he leaves. And then Flynn jumped to Goldberg just so Billy Boy had an excuse to de-spear and jackhammer and make people happy.
What actually happened is Goldberg is facing away from the ring. He's yelling at Sid for being a coward and that sort of thing. And Jimmy Hart commands Jerry Flynn to get him. It's all Jimmy's fault. Boy, did Goldberg spear this fucker to death. He speared him in two pieces. Like poor Peach's leg.
Oh, dude.
Jackhammer.
Too soon.
Place went nuts for that.
Clips of Harlem Heat beating the Rednecks for the tag titles at the pay-per-view. And then Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs versus Harlem Heat for the tag team titles. Heat ran wild for a while, woke up the crowd. Lots of energy.
Then they got the heat on Stevie.
Got the heat on Stevie
A
Ray.
big guy you can get no sympathy on.
Nope.
Crowd died.
But what the good news is it let Booker meet the hot tag, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's running around being great. And then the Rednecks attack for the DQ.
Cool match, bro.
My takeaway from the Monday Night Wars after going back and watching them from start to theoretically finish,
Is they sucked?
how did wrestling survive?
I don't know. I actually don't.
Why are we not all talking about roller derby or something?
I have no idea. Well, that died too.
You should have come back. In all seriousness, thank God for the Insane Clown Posse.
The Insane
If
Clown
you haven't watched
Posse.
these shows and you think the Insane Clown Posse are like just good characters or wacky fun, especially Violent J, but also Shaggy 2 Dope, they are some of the better wrestlers on the show in the summer of 1999.
Hey,
They're better than Lenny and Lodi.
I was just gonna say, if you're planning to say this match wasn't that good, think about this. They had this match with Lenny and Lodi, who have had nothing resembling a good match with anybody, except I guess Lenny had one like a couple weeks ago with somebody, but they're not that good. ICP had a perfectly fine tag team professional wrestling match with these two guys. Even Shaggy looked pretty good.
Yeah. So a fan hits the ring, plays keep away with security. They finally
Tony
acknowledged him
Mamaluke.
as Tony Mamaluke. He has been a Lodi stalker.
He's a Lodi fanboy.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So they're chasing him backstage. They cut to cameras backstage to show security chasing him around. And Shivani says something like, we got to do something to put a stop to this. And Heenan just says, take him out back and hang him.
He did suggest Tony Mamaluke be hanged.
Death by hanging.
Yeah.
That seems excessive to me.
Yeah, he's been going from town to town. They brought this up.
Yeah.
He's been going from town to town stalking Lodi.
That's weird.
That's really weird.
So Lenny and Lodi did all their gay comedy spots. Clowns get a big reaction for their comeback. And Lenny and Lodi try to rockerplex. Shaggy dodged. They bonked into each other.
Is that what happened?
I had to go back and watch it too. And then
I don't know what the fuck
I was
happened.
already supposed to be here by this time. I had to go back and watch. Let's figure it out.
They're going for this
So
deal.
Lenny has Shaggy over in a suplex.
Yes.
Lodi is supposed to hit him with a body press. Hit Shaggy with a body
Yes.
press. The theory is Shaggy will dodge.
How do you dodge when you're upside down in a fucking suplex?
And just slip out or escape.
He
or whatever.
didn't, though.
None of that happened. No.
No, it's Lodi came off the top and headbutted both guys.
What I said is what was supposed to happen on paper. It didn't work out that way. So Shaggy pins Lenny. Lodi is standing there 3 feet away just watching. The ref counts 3. This is a total mess, but this is a fun mess.
I liked it.
Notice Vampiro did not get involved. He was sporting a big, huge shiner.
Yeah.
Got busted up the night before.
They put a camera on him, zoomed in on his face to get the black eye, and he looks into the camera and points to the ring and says, there's way more interesting stuff going on in there.
Yeah. And then Shivani goes, now he's trying to be their director.
Yeah.
I was like, well, there is something better going on in the
He
ring.
was right.
Chris Benoit comes out for a promo and in a very uncomfortable moment begins to talk about the demons in his mind.
Yeah, last night was one of the worst nights of my life. Couldn't stop thinking all night long. All because I had you in the crossface. I know you tapped out. I watched it again. But you still won. I'm not here to cry. No shame in losing. Sometimes the call goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Congratulations on winning. But tonight I beat the greatest technical wrestler in WCW during a world title shot. So Sting, get your rear end out here. It was going so well until he called out Sting's rear end.
So Sting's rear end, Rick Steiner came out, I guess.
Yeah.
Rick Steiner says, hey, I've got a title. If you want a title shot, I'll give you one right now. So it's Benoit and Steiner. Now, I did complain earlier about having seen this match a bunch of times. It's still good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The spot where the guy tries to leapfrog and Steiner power slams him
Yeah.
never looks better than it did in this match.
I'll tell you what never looked better. He gave Chris Benoit, I think, the most awesome German suplex I've ever seen.
Pretty
Yes.
amazing.
That didn't involve like dropping the guy right on top of his head.
Yeah.
He just like lifted him straight up in the air and then arched back. It was beautiful.
It was amazing. So Steiner complains about a slow count. He throws the ref out of the ring. Benoit hits a flash cradle. The ref dives in and counts 3. Benoit's the new TV champion. And then Rick Steiner pops up and beats Benoit's ass and beats up the referee some more. And Dean comes out and Steiner kicks Benoit right in front of Dean. Dean doesn't do anything. Steiner, in losing here, came off as a bigger, scarier guy than ever.
Yes.
And Benoit's like, okay, you have a title, I guess, but you did not win.
No, he was not put over.
No, this did not help him.
He merely got his hand raised on a fluke.
A Revolution video package. And then Eddie Guerrero and Perry Saturn. They did a lot of really cool stuff in this match.
Well, before the match starts, out come Rey Mysterio, Conan, and Kidman, the filthy animals.
Yes.
Are now here. And there were a fair amount of rest holds in this match. But then it picked up at the end a lot.
There were highs and lows in this match, and the lows were pretty low, but the highs were cool.
Yes.
If the highlights of this match would have been awesome. So they counter a million things. Saturn hits a cradle for the win, and the two gangs face off afterwards, but nothing happens.
2 good matches in a row.
Berlin versus Buff Bagwell.
And we had another good match.
Nothing wrong with this at all.
I thought Berlin looked great out there. He's way better as a brooding heel than the dancing dildo he was for many years.
But then, don't we all?
He's lost a lot of size.
Yes?
And a lot of hair.
Yeah.
I thought he looked exactly the same size. He just lost his tan.
His physique is not nearly as good.
Not even close.
So
I think you guys are imagining things.
went back and forth a few minutes, and then the Wall hit Buff behind the ref's
Yeah,
back.
the Wall.
I don't know if they've named him that yet, but it's such a great name.
No, he was the Wall.
Was he okay?
Yeah, because when you hit the wall, there's no turning
Well,
back.
it's even worse. The Wall hits you.
Yeah.
He's still alive, by the way, the Wall. For some reason, I thought that he'd passed away.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I could have sworn he did.
That's what I thought, too, but I believe he's still alive.
Was he Malice in TNA?
Yeah.
Are you positive?
Oh, man. I could have sworn I just looked this up today. Oh, no, he is dead. 2003.
Yeah.
Where did I see that he was alive? Oh, I see what happened.
A different Wall?
No, I looked at it wrong. Usually they say, like, born-death.
Okay.
This only had the date that he was born, so I presume that meant he was still alive.
I
The
see.
date of death is down below.
I see. Fall of Sting music video.
Oh, this was incredible. I'll tell you something. I was running a little bit behind. I watched this Bagwell Berlin match. I was Googling the Wall. I couldn't figure out why he was not dead. The Sting video package airs, and I start to fast forward through it.
No.
And honest to God, I fast forwarded all the way through it, and the guys start coming out for the main event, and I was like, I just got to watch it. So I rewound it. I'm so happy that I did. They did a video package where what I thought was they're going to... Here's why I rewound it, okay? Because they've done a few of these before where they try to go back 4 years and tell the story of a person through all of the WCW bullshit, and it's so ridiculous how they try to tie everything together, right? The Kevin Nash Hulk Hogan one.
Yeah.
Before they had their match. So I thought, I cannot wait to see them explain the story of Sting from 1995. They did not do that. Instead, this video package was all about how Sting had turned heel. And has he been a dick all along?
Yeah.
They went back.
They retconned the story.
They did. They showed all of the stuff that he did where, like, he was wrongly accused. And
They took that part out,
yep.
but they just showed the part where he did the promo with his back.
Exactly.
Literally turning his back on the company.
Yep.
He tells the company to stick it.
Yep. They showed all of this stuff, and they basically said,
We should have known.
We should have known.
Yes.
At one point, the voiceover guy, he asked some question, and he goes, right? Just totally weird. It's bizarre. And then they do the whole video package, and literally the final line, which was so fucking ironic. The final line is, for this is a most trying time to have heroes in World Championship Wrestling. It's like it's fucking WWE in 2018.
All I can say.
There are no fucking heroes. It's crazy.
Did you mention, by the way, that as part of this video package, they teased, we may even see the return of the bogus Sting.
Yeah. Maybe the bogus Sting has been sent out by the real Sting. It's like, fuck, I never thought of that before.
Sting's a master genius.
Sting beat his
He is
ass
a
80 times.
Diabolical monster.
And a patient man.
And patient man, this is a long con. This is a 4-year plan
This
he's
is
got.
a long, long fucking con. Goes back to 88.
It does. I'll have a great match with Ric Flair and then screw him on Nitro 15 years later.
Yes. On a show that doesn't exist.
Oh, God. All right, Sting and Lex versus Hulk and Brett. My screen was all kinds of wacky and freezing and buffering.
Okay, I'll take over.
Yeah.
What the fuck was this? You had... Okay, so we were coming off 3 good matches, okay? We were coming off a Steiner-Benoit match, which the people liked. Eddie Saturn, which the people liked.
Yep.
Buff Berlin, which the people liked. They bring out the tag teams of Lex, Luger, and Sting against Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart. They ring that goddamn bell. Nobody cares. It's deathly silent. They've got... I don't remember who was in the ring, but I can tell you by reading this. Sting tags in Lex Luger, Bret Hart tags in Hulk Hogan for the double fucking hot tag. Silence in the building.
Well, they were tired.
They get in the ring. Hogan makes his comeback. He hits the big boot. Deathly silence in the building. Luger cuts him off. So finally, they start beating on Hogan, double teaming him. Now the fans start chanting for Hulk. I'm like, where were you fucking people 5 minutes ago when you didn't care? Fires up. There's a spot. Did you see this? You saw the whole match?
Sure.
There's a spot where Hulk Hogan fires up and Sting cuts him off with a double leg takedown.
Yeah.
I'll explain how this happens. Hulk is on his feet. Sting drops to both knees in front of him. He hugs one of Hogan's legs. Then he hugs both of his legs. Hulk Hogan, from a standing position, slowly sits down onto the ground, and they both fall sideways. I was fucking laughing so hard at this fucking spot. Finally, Hogan hits a double clothesline, makes hot tag. Bret runs wild, breaks down into a four-way. DDP hits the ring. People are already throwing shit.
Yep.
Bret puts Sting in the sharpshooter. DDP tries to hit him. Hogan makes a save. Lex Luger then grabs a baseball bat. And he fucking swings this bat, and he hits Bret Hart right in the fucking eyeball.
Yep.
Yeah, I did see that part,
I
actually.
rewound this 10 fucking times. Right in the fucking eyeball with this bat.
I sure it was a
I don't
wiffle
give
bat.
a shit if there was a wiffle bat.
Yep.
I don't care if this was a
Absolutely.
bat made out of foam. It could be a bat made out of air. He hit him in the fucking eyeball with this thing, and Bret's just like, fuck! Falls down on the ground, gets pinned. He's like this till the show goes off the air. I have no idea how he survived this shot. It was the most brutal baseball bat shot I've ever seen. And that was that. That was the end of the show. They gave him time. This was not your usual bullshit 1 minute main event. They got like 10 minutes.
And there was a finish.
And there was a finish.
Even if it was a screwy one.
Yep, there was a finish.
You know, it's hard for people to care. Just last week, Bret was talking about how he wanted to fight Hulk Hogan. Luger's out there in his street clothes. Why would anybody care?
Well, they didn't.
Right.
So
Touche.
that's your answer.
Okay.
actually.
Also, Bret was away for a long time. Then his brother passed away, and he was away for even more time. This was his first match back in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Threw it out there.
Yeah. You look good.
Sure, I'm sure he looked good. The point is, advertise it,
You'd think.
build to it,
Yeah.
promote it as a promotion.
Maybe he could make some money.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You gotta say the finishes on this show were.
The finishes on this show were clean pin, 2 pins in a singles match by a guy who was not in the match, pin after cowbell shot, DQ in a tag match, clean pin for a title change where the guy who lost came out looking better than the guy who won, clean pin after interference, pin after bat shot.
That was definitely better than Raw.
Way better than Raw. I don't know what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
I don't either.
I think Raw was so bad it ruined my whole day, honestly.
Yeah, that's happened to me many Tuesdays. I hate Tuesday.
I gotta do I gotta watch Raw like on Thursday or Friday, so my Tuesdays are easier.
I see. I gotta watch it. Go downstairs on the way out and just ask my wife, just say, what's Brian's most hated day of the week? She'll say, Tuesday. It's my most hated day. All right, everybody, we're out of here. Back on Thursday with Granny. I'll be back tomorrow with Filthy Tom. We got a lot to get into, including another food review. I believe it's going to be KFC. That's what I've been told.
How are you feeling about that?
I like KFC.
Dude,
Okay.
I don't like KFC, but the Georgia Gold barbecue sauce they have, awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to love when they had those Chicken Littles.
The sandwiches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were absolute shit, but when you're a little kid, they taste really, really good.
Yeah.
And I do like their chicken strips. They actually have a really good meal of the chicken strips and the fries, whatever they call them.
Potato wedges.
Oh, yeah.
And the mashed potatoes and gravy, which are horrible mashed potatoes and gravy.
They're the worst potatoes in the
Double
world.
Yeah,
starch.
but I like them.
Get the barbecue beans.
And we'll talk. Anyway, so that's tomorrow, and then Observer Live. Lots of great stuff. Check it out. That's it. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Good night.
Adios.
Excellent report, Vince.
Let's do a better show.
Better than Raw?
Yes.
Or better than our own show?
Well, we've been trying that for a while. Monday Nitro, I neglected to write down the episode numbers. September 20th. Do either of you have the episode number?
I do not have the episode number.
I want to say it was 205.
I don't think it was 205.
Was it live? No.
Yeah, it was actually.
Oh. Had a replay of the Sting video, the same one from last week, but still awesome. What was once colorful and vibrant is now cold, calculating, and dark. Juventud Guerrera and Psychosis.
Hey, I want to mention first, we had a recap of everything that happened last week.
Yep.
And it was actually really good.
We kept people up
Like,
to
do
date.
you remember anything that happened last week?
Of course not.
No, but when the show opened, they reminded me of everything that happened last week, and I was like, that's right, I remember that.
Yes.
Good work.
Thumbs up for Nitro.
I mean, it's a television show. It's episodic.
Yeah.
They sent,
Show us what happened in the last goddamn episode.
they sent Bischoff home, and now things make sense.
Right. Juventud Guerrera and Psychosis versus Rey Mysterio and Kidman.
Do you notice, by the way, that the last 2 weeks of shows since I got rid of Eric Bischoff have opened with a hot match and not two random nobody geeks out there boring the shit out of the audience?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you want a really hot match to start a wrestling show. It's crazy.
So I know I've been watching Ray for like 6 months now without his mask, but it suddenly just occurred to me how weird it is. I'm watching him without his mask here, and he's masked again now in 2018.
I do.
Are there any other luchadors who've done this, who unmasked and just put the mask back on?
I'm sure it's happened, but it's
I know guys put on different masks.
when I went to All In, the show was over, we went backstage, and there's Rey Mysterio without his mask on. Mm-hmm. I was like, weird. I could surreptitiously take a photograph of this. Then I realized,
Everyone knows.
this is not a secret.
No. So the match was a parade of big moves, and they all looked cool, and the crowd loved everything they did. Mm-hmm. Kidman goes up top. Hoovy shoves him off. Psychosis is a dropkick for the win.
There was a point here where Psychosis picked up Rey Mysterio Jr. for a powerbomb while Juventud was coming off the top rope with a leg drop. He was so high in the air when they dropped him. It was awesome.
So Kidman goes after Psychosis' mask. Who should make the save but Chavo?
Chavo.
So Chavo's there. The filthy animals are all out there, but Chavo blows them off. He leaves with Hoovy and Psychosis. Psychosis cuts a promo in Spanish, and then Chavo says, I will translate. I speak Spanish. Kidman, my friend Psychosis just challenged you to a mask versus hair match. And Psychosis says, what?
So they didn't really explain this, but this is what I got out of it. Because I like writing my own storylines when they don't explain it.
Fantasy book actual segments?
Yeah, so what happened was Kidman went after Psychosis' mask, okay? So outside, Psychosis is screaming at Kidman about going after his mask. Chavo is a gringo. Mm-hmm. He knows very little. He knows as much Spanish as you.
Sure.
Okay, he heard mascara, and so he said, I'll translate, thinking that a challenge had been made.
Okay.
But he doesn't speak Spanish, so he's just making shit up. And so he issues a challenge for mask versus hair for next week,
right?
Which catches Psychosis completely off guard.
He doesn't speak English, but he knows mask and hair.
Yes, and now it is official. Well, and by the way, Psychosis had lost his mask in Tijuana like a week or two earlier.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So that's why they did this here, not at the pay-per-view.
Also, Chavo must be working out with Eddie because he's put on about 10 to 15 pounds.
Gotten bigger. Chavo was also telling Psychosis, trust me, over and over again, like he had some plan.
Well, spoiler. You know what's funny is when they were announcing this, I had totally forgotten that they unmasked Psychosis.
I had too.
Yeah.
That's how completely irrelevant this unmasking is.
Recap of Sid and Goldberg going back and forth from last week, and then we had Brian Knobbs versus Goldberg.
This segment was awesome.
Love this.
First of all, it was. I love Brian Knobbs and Jimmy Hart cutting cheap heat promos just to make sure Goldberg gets cheered.
Not only that, but I loved when he used the line that the Bengals got squashed in this town.
Yes.
Wrestling terminology.
Yes. So I bet if he goes to Devilry games, I bet if he talks about squashes all the time. So Goldberg comes out, Knobbs starts hitting him in the head with a chair repeatedly. Not a DQ. They get in the ring. Goldberg whips him into the ropes as hard as he possibly can. He's never speared anyone half as hard as he whipped Knobbs into the ropes here.
He couldn't keep up being thrown across the ring. He almost tripped.
So
That's what makes Goldberg great.
it is. The megaphone gets used, also not a DQ. And finally, Goldberg just shrugs off everything, spear, jackhammer, pin.
Almost lost him on the jackhammer, but saved it because he's a beast.
Because he's Goldberg. So, massive success. Everyone's cheering their brains out and going crazy. And then it's time for Goldberg to cut a promo. And he takes a brief second to catch his breath. He's just starting to glisten with sweat, breathing just a little bit harder than usual, but he is William the Perfect Gentleman. Talking to Sid here. Says,
Well, it's good to have two gentlemen facing off.
it is actually.
Mr. Goldberg and Mr. Sid.
I'm just watching this promo, and all I can think is, why is this man not world champion right now? I mean, they screwed up and took the title off him. Fine. You don't have to keep the title off him all the time. Why is he not in the main event right as we
Well,
speak?
there's a new regime right now.
I guess.
And I'm sure that in their minds it was, well, we're going to get this belt back on this guy.
I suppose.
I hope. I give them a little credit.
So Goldberg says, Sid, I'm going to give you 5 weeks.
And everybody boos.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. If Sid had come out and said I needed 5 weeks, that would make sense. Why is Goldberg waiting more than a month?
Well, he wants to get in shape.
I see.
I'll explain it later.
Well, it is Halloween Havoc, so that's the challenge he wants. He wants Goldberg, or he wants a Sid at Halloween Havoc. And a recap of Benoit beating Malenko last week.
I like all these recaps.
Sure.
It's good stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Remind me what happened on the last show.
Don't expect everyone to take notes and have them open.
And even if they do, expect them to remember.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mean Gene interviews Flair, so he's all crazy. Says, I'm ready to get beat up by Sting and Luger. Wants them later. Benoit interrupts. And he says he wants Sting first.
Well, he's got a match.
He has a contract because he beat Malenko last week. He gets a world title match. And he's got the contract with him, and he's making his point, and he's speaking to the camera, and the promo's fine. There's nothing wrong with this promo. But Flair's in the ring, and I think Flair felt I can make this better. And so he goes into crazy Flair mode. I want Sting out here right now. Sting, Sting, Sting.
He's ignoring Benoit.
Yeah. So Benoit, at 35 minutes and 5 seconds into the show, I'm telling you that so you can all go watch this. Benoit calls Flair's name, and the hard camera's on Flair. And he does the best cartoon double take whip around to look at Benoit off the ramp.
Yes.
It's awesome. I watched it like 5 times. So Benoit repeats himself, basically. He says this whole promo over again. He wants his title match tonight, and Flair says, I'm going to go find Sting. The Nitro Girls auditions.
Oh, God. Keisha Simpson and Robbie Spencer. Death TV, move on.
I'm into that whole performing thing, one of them said.
Yeah.
My note from here is, they're talking about how hot these girls are, and the video ends, and there's this random shot of the crowd, and there's a sign. I forget what the sign said, but the girl in front of the sign is hotter than either of the Nitro Girls.
Hey, all I know is there's no Ricky Rackman after last week when he screamed, No ugly chicks! No ugly girls! They got rid of him.
Chris Benoit versus Sting.
This is a great match.
It's a hell of a match. You know the funny thing about it? Sting was the babyface until the very end.
Well,
No, you're right.
how many times in his career at this point had Sting actually been a heel?
It had been at least a decade.
He was trying
Like
really
the
hard.
UWF was the last time.
He was really trying hard, but he was out of his element.
He had not been a heel since before the first Starrcade.
Yes.
The bad thing
First-
was
I'm
is
sorry, his
Not the first Starrcade.
His first Starrcade.
Yeah.
the bad thing was the crowd
First pay-per-view. Sorry.
still sees him as a baby.
Yeah, they're still cheering for everything. Benoit keeps bailing, and Sting stays in the ring and howls, and everyone cheers. Eventually, Sting hits him in the balls for the heat. Uses a gourd buster, which I don't remember him ever using before. He finally misses the top rope splash and the stinger splash, and Benoit does his comeback. The ref gets bumped, and Chris Benoit hits the worst, and I can assume the only pile driver of his career.
Oh, it's horrible.
It sucked.
It was bad, but it was mostly Sting just letting go and just hanging upside down in the air.
It reminded me of, I once was watching a Bruiser Brody match, and Brody was a madman, and not everyone who worked with him knew if they could trust him. And at one point, he went to do a pile driver, and the guy did not trust Brody to protect him. It did a full sit-up, so Brody ended up essentially doing a sit-up powerbomb onto his own legs. That's pretty much what Benoit did here with Sting. So, no ref, and then Lex hits Benoit with a baseball bat.
Well, first, Benoit did hit a German and had the visual pinfall over Sting.
Yes.
He had him beaten.
And then in the German,
Yes.
Lex hits
Luger
him right in
whacked
the
him.
abs with the baseball bat. So Flair attacks Lex. Sting gets the pin. The ref comes back. Lex is in the corner with a baseball bat as the ref counts 3. Flair attacks Lex, DDP, and Sting.
Who was the
join
ref,
in.
by the way? Oh, Nick Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, competent.
So it was funny, they announced the trios match earlier. It's going to be Hogan, Flair, and Hart against Lex, DDP, and Sting. So here's the whole heel team beating up Flair, and Hogan makes a save by himself, chases them all away. And it was dumb, but it was a very good match and a very fun segment. And just as they're about to go away, Tony Schiavone's talking about the baseball bat hit to Benoit's abdomen, and he says, "That could break a spleen." I mean, he's probably right.
His ribs could give out.
Ribs could give out.
By the way, Flair took a diamond cutter from DDP,
Yeah, he did.
and he did not bump flat on his stomach, nor did he bump on top of his head. He did a full flip, taking the diamond cutter. I always love... Flair has a certain kind of match, and every now and then he gets pulled out of his match, and some weird spot happens with him. Like if you remember at Club Lavella when Rey Mysterio gave him a top rope Hurricane Rana,
Right.
Watching Ric Flair
was
take a
thinking of the
bump for
Rey
that
match.
is fucking hilarious. He does a flip, lands flat on his back like a dead man. That's how he sold it.
Yeah.
Here he's taking a diamond cutter and he takes a flip. Who the fuck takes a flip for a diamond cutter? He made it work. It looked like he was dead.
Yes.
I love Ric Flair.
Scott Armstrong versus Berlin.
Not bad, but impossible to care.
Way too long. All I can think is, dude, it's the Road Dogg's brother's other brother. Just pin him. Went forever. Wall. The best part of the match was actually the wall. Armstrong's like hanging on the ropes.
That's a wrestler, everybody. The wall.
The wall. Yeah.
In case you haven't been paying attention.
The Armstrong's hanging on the ropes. Berlin takes the ref, and the wall cocks his fist, and he takes a step closer, and a step closer, and a step closer, and he's almost in punching range. And then the ref catches him, and he looks at the ref, and he puts his fist down, and he steps back. So like 10 more minutes go by. Armstrong's on the ropes again. Berlin takes the ref again. This time Wall just punches him, and Berlin hits his neck breaker and wins. And then the Road Dogg's other brother's brother makes the save.
Brad Armstrong with no mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was the one thing he had going for him. Now he's just a fella.
The Deadpool had a meeting. Shaggy 2 Dope has a Cruiserweight Championship match tonight.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does.
They were giving a pep talk and advice, and Violent J says, "There should be me in there." And Vampiro just looks at him and says, "You're not a Cruiserweight,"
And pats his belly.
and pats his belly.
All he did to say, "You're too fat."
Had a recap of Flair's return last week. Mean Gene brought DDP out for a promo.
I gotta say something about this. It was just a classic heel promo, like pushing all sorts of buttons. He broke out, "You love me, you hate me, you'll never forget me." He says, "Nobody has done more for professional wrestling than DDP has."
Hey,
And at first I was like, this is just preposterous. But I really thought about it, and he has not done more for professional wrestling than, for example, Vince McMahon. Okay? But if you look at all of the lives in this business that he actually has had a positive influence on
Aha.
through his yoga, he actually has done more for pro wrestling than like 95% of people.
he's done more for pro wrestlers
Sure,
than
yeah.
pro.
So he could cut this promo today, but not 19 years ago.
Well, now it'd be almost a babyface promo.
I just like where he talked about how Flair was old and should retire in 1999.
Yeah.
At this point, the announcers were running their mouths for a while, and suddenly something got edited out.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird.
I can only imagine. He says, "The diamond cutter is up here, and the figure 4 is down here." And the fans are furious at this line. I was like, God, I miss wrestling fans.
Yes,
Like
actually.
legit fans that love wrestling.
Yes. Blitzkrieg versus Evan Courageous, with the winner getting a title shot against the winner of the championship match. And then it occurred to me, the top 4 cruiserweights in this company right now are Blitzkrieg, Evan Courageous, Lenny Lane, and Shaggy 2 Dope.
Who the shit put this match together?
I don't know.
Probably Blitzkrieg because it was nothing but spots.
No, I'm talking made the match. Someone said, let's put Blitzkrieg and Evan Courageous in the ring together.
I don't know.
The blind leading the blind. It was actually better than I expected, but it was
not good.
bad.
There was no transition in between high spots.
Nothing.
No, they did a bunch of flips. The crowd was chanting boring.
They did a forward drop slap, which sounds like something Granny would call.
Sure.
That's what they called it, a forward drop slap.
Well, and Bobby
What the
Heenan's,
fuck is that?
in Heenan's defense, as he pointed out, it's hard to call a match because you can't remember 800 moves.
That's true. Fans chanted boring.
Yeah. So Evan hits a Evans a corkscrew splash. Comes off the top rope, corkscrew splash.
Sure.
Makes the cover. Ref counts 1. The ref counts 2. Blitzkrieg's shoulder shoots up.
Yep.
And the ref shakes his head and counts 3.
Yeah.
I've seen enough.
You're done. This is the finish. I'm counting 3.
I just loved also the fans are so over this match that they're chanting boring. And then Sid finally comes out and they're mad at that as well.
Yes.
They just didn't want anything at this point.
So Sid kills them, of course, adds to his streak.
Killed Blitzkrieg with a powerbomb.
Mm-hmm.
Says he accepts Goldberg's challenge for Halloween Havoc, but between now and then, we're going to play by my rules.
He says, and this is clearly why Goldberg chose Halloween Havoc. Sid says, and I quote, "At Halloween Havoc, the scariest night in the world, I'm going to give you what you think you want." So Halloween is the scariest night in the world.
Sure.
Well, not Halloween. Halloween Havoc.
No, Halloween Havoc is the scariest night in the world.
Right.
This is very, very bad grammar,
True.
but I loved it. How did he win worst on promos? Just mind-blowing.
He says Goldberg, well,
Not the scariest night of the year.
no.
Oh, in the
The
world.
scariest night in the world.
Maybe he's talking about a medieval character.
The fuck is he talking about?
A night with a K.
Sure.
Dude, does that mean we get
I
Sid in a
hadn't
suit
thought
of
of
armor?
that. I hadn't thought of
Yeah.
that.
He's on a steed with a helmet. And
So he explains that between now and then, Goldberg cannot get within 10 feet of him, and he also adds Goldberg has to do whatever Sid says.
Yeah.
So are we gonna get like when Jimmy Garvin and Sunshine had to go to the Von Erichs ranch?
Sure.
Is there a segment where Goldberg has to go clean Sid's place?
I'd be down with that.
that would be amazing television.
Had a Revolution video. It's nice they're trying, but this group is it's death.
No, it's death.
They need to go somewhere else.
Which is amazing, because, you swap out Shane for Eddie, which, granted, is obviously a massive upgrade. Mm-hmm. But suddenly the Radicals are awesome. Perry Saturn versus Eddie Guerrero in what was more or less a lumberjack match with all the gangs out there. And the crowd is they're politely applauding, but they're not feeling this match.
It was a good match, though.
It was fun. Well, Eddie was awesome. Actually, Saturn was awesome as well. But they didn't really care about it. So Saturn goes after Conan. A big brawl breaks out on the floor. Shane hits Eddie with a chain. Saturn sees this, and he is pissed. But he eventually decides what the hell, makes the cover, wins anyway.
Smart man.
Mean Gene calls out Hogan. I will never get tired of hearing Hogan say, "I'm going to train, say a prayer, and kick your ass."
He said kick your ass 30 times in this promo. More than he said brother.
And the more he said it, the happier it made him.
He loves to say the word ass.
I'm going to kick your ass.
By the way, in that last match, Shane Douglas made it very clear. Saturn, we're not making friends. We're making money.
So, by the way, please tell me that at some point in the past 20 years, there's been a train, say a prayer, and kick your ass t-shirt made.
Hey, you should make one,
Maybe
Vinny.
I will.
You
Maybe I will.
should.
Now, Hulk will sue me.
He ain't going to sue you. How's he going to sue you for that?
I just said where I got the
19
idea.
years ago.
I'll see how it goes.
He also said the six-man they've got coming up next week.
Yes.
Hogan, Brett, and Flair versus Luger, Sting, and DDT. I can barely even say this. With God on our side.
Yes.
That's right.
The championship committee signed this match.
Yeah.
With God
The Lord.
on our side. They signed this match for next week.
Yeah.
I couldn't even say it. It's fucking ridiculous. With God on our side, we're going to kick their ass next week.
Yes.
No
got
wonder
that.
Sting is like, this guy's weird.
It's a holy war.
He got that line in 5 times in this promo. It was amazing.
Shaggy 2 Dope versus Lenny
Another amazing match.
for a variety of reasons. Tony Mamaluke hits the ring. He's a huge Lodi mark, but Lodi punches him. They're dragging him away. He's screaming Lodi's name and says, "I've had it!" So Lenny's wrestling Shaggy.
His brother's coming.
Who's his brother?
I don't know. I forget, but that's what he said. Big Mama Luke.
Probably. Oh, it's Vito?
Yeah, it's Big Vito.
Probably Vito. So Lenny does a gut wrench powerbomb, almost drops him on his head.
But he didn't.
Managed to, he's alive. It was, I know you used the line blind leading the blind earlier, but Lenny was trying so hard. Shaggy was clueless, and Lenny was trying so
Yes.
hard to get him through this match.
I've said this many times. Like, Violent J
Good.
was much better than Shaggy.
Yes.
But Shaggy made it through this match. He was all right.
When it came time to do stuff, he always did it right.
Yeah, this was way better than that Evan Courageous match with Blitzkrieg.
Yes.
He was on the verge of falling on his head at least.
But he never did.
But he never did.
Understood, but
And-
I shrieked a dozen times.
And in between falling on his head, you could hear them having long conversations where they just stood there and talked to each other for a while. So Lodi interfered. It was not a DQ. He jumps in the apron. Shaggy bonks into him, hits his head on the belt, then he hits a schoolboy for the win. Another Nitro Girls video. So me and Gene interviews Rick Steiner. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, when the hell does Scott come back?
I literally, it was the exact same thing. Rick's in the ring. I thought that exact thing. Where's Scott? Like, I know he has a back injury.
Yeah.
But, like, when does he return?
Yeah.
Fucking here he comes.
Rick says, here's Scott. Rick must have heard me 19 years ago. Scott comes out, shows off his arms, talks about sports records, says he's chasing Wilt Chamberlain's record.
It's so amazing. He is cutting a promo talking about wanting to break the fucking record. And he's issuing
Not the fucking
an
record.
invite.
The record for fucking.
Yes. The invite, any woman, he says, who wants to help, meet me in the back. The women are screaming.
yes.
They're so into this. It's bizarre.
So he says he wants to break Wilt Chamberlain's record of laying with 20,000 women. Says, I'm on pace to break it sometime in January. So as he's now taking the mic, he's all swole, he's got sunglasses on, he's cutting his promo, and Gene behind him is just doing the pinching the temple in his nose and just face palming. Scott invited women backstage to, quote, push the pink pony.
That's what he said.
So after, first priority, of course, was lining up all the hooches he can. That's his words. Right?
Yes.
Then he moves on to Hulk Hogan.
But they cheered. They screamed.
Yes, some of these women wanted to be hooches. Steiner says, when I left, I was the leader of the NWO. I'm back now. There is no NWO. I see Hogan getting cheered. It makes me puke. I promise the Hulk Hogan is going to kiss my ass.
A lot of ass in this.
Did you mention
show.
Scott Steiner's shirt?
No, but I should.
It was a vest, basically.
Yeah.
And it had like little grappling hooks
I think it was a nursing vest.
from one side to the other.
It had a weird, almost medieval theme to it.
Sure.
They were not snaps. They're like,
It was a
Class.
He's got his chainmail thing coming.
that's true. It has this big collar.
Maybe he's the knight.
Aha.
He'd have been a great knight.
Yeah. That's what Sid's scared of.
I'd be scared of Scott Steiner.
Scariest knight in the world.
He's old. I'd still be scared of him.
Canyon versus Booker T. Here's everything I wrote. Canyon does moves, comeback missile dropkick win, definition of average.
He didn't write one word about his horrible haircut.
Canyon?
Oh, God, it was atrocious.
Mullet with bangs.
And that's from me,
Yeah.
okay?
Flair versus DDP.
I do have one other thing to say about that match, actually. You could barely hear it. But Booker hits the missile drop kick, makes cover, says, thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Got the pin. That's the way things used to be.
That's right.
You beat a guy, you thanked him for putting you over.
Buddy once thanked me for pinning him. I don't know what to do. There's the finish, and I covered him, and he just, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It was more of a thank you for not hurting me.
That may have been it. Yeah.
Thank you for not killing me, and thank God it's over.
Yeah, that also works. Flair versus DDP. I went 5 minutes. Sting interfered. We got put into figure 4, and Lex used the bat for the DQ.
It was all right, actually.
It was fine, but I mean,
They had very little time.
it was a 5-minute brawl.
So they
with a
brawled
DQ
like
finish.
at the entrances. They fought all over the place. They got in the ring. There was a little bit of heat. Figure 4, which is down here. Diamond Cutter's up here.
Oh, yeah,
just
okay.
making sure you're all paying attention. And then Luger ran in and whacked him with the bat for the DQ.
And then Hulk ran in, and he got a bat to the leg.
Yeah, they destroyed his leg with that bat.
So there you go. It's Sting and Hogan again at Halloween Havoc. So this is the build for that.
Yep. Well, are you ready, Vinny?
I'm ready.
Brian.
Oh, yes, Rob.
If I may, just to close the loop for the beginning of this segment and to give Vinny a proper introduction, this is the finishers report for Nitro episode number 209.
Ah, excellent.
Oh, 209.
I will put that in my own notes.
Thank you, Rob.
Very welcome.
209. Thank God Rob's here.
All right, you
One
ready?
professional person in the room.
Yes.
Yes, I'm ready. The finishes on this show were clean pin, pin after bat shot, pin after interference, pin even though the shoulder was up, pin after chain shot, pin after accidental belt shot, clean pin, DQ in main event.
Excellent report, Vinny.
Thank you, Brian.
I got a big announcement to make here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We broke the streak today.
What do you mean?
We beat Sid?
No, I have a list of all of the shows that we do. And
Oh, God.
yeah, it's bizarre. Like the last 3 shows that we did
Oh, yeah.
went exactly 1 hour and 11 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
What are we up to now?
We're an hour and 4 minutes. So we'd really have to stall to get up to 111.
Chill.
And I don't care that much.
Craig, how was work today?
I thought it was weird when I was looking at it. An hour and 11 minutes, 3 straight shows in a row, perfectly at random.
That is strange.
It's weird. Yeah.
Goofy.
It's crazy.
Nutty.
Wacky.
Give my thesaurus. I'm just going to read for 7 minutes.
Kooky.
I'm just kidding. All right, everybody, we're out of here. Check out the video
Unusual.
service. Video.f4wonline.com. Check my Twitter for more. At Bryan Alvarez.
Ooh, a good one.
November 3rd, I'll be killing Marco's stunt. Black Label Pro. Make sure you check that out. Praying he lasts that long. He's got a lot of matches coming up. I can't believe he survived Trevor Lee. But anyway, lots of stuff coming up, so check it out, everybody. And that is it. We will talk to you again after... Fuck it. A while.
Good night.
Adios. Okay. Monday Night number 210, September 27th, 1999. Hogan arrives in a limo. They conveniently have a dozen children who all move as one like a school of fish.
Yeah. They all want autographs.
They all step forward. They all say as one, Hulk, can I have your autograph? Sure, I can. Cool shirt, brother. As this is going on, Sting, a 250-pound mime, creeps up behind Hulk and says, hey, Hulk, can I have an autograph too? And Hulk Hogan, the dumbest wrestler I've ever seen, says, sure thing, brother, and turns around and Sting attacks him.
Well, Vinny, if you're signing autographs for a bunch of little kids, you probably would be fooled too. He didn't see the guy.
So Sting takes him out, whacks him in the knee with a baseball bat, and Hulk Hogan does the laziest selling ever.
Ugh. My leg, brother.
Several minutes pass. They send Mike Tenay to get an update on Hogan's knee. The update is, not now, Michael. I'm going in, brother.
Bobby Heenan is cackling that Hulk Hogan is crippled. He's just overjoyed that his leg has been broken.
Sting is watching on a monitor, says, I didn't get the job done. Taps his bat on the table. The Cat runs down the crowd, demands a championship match or he'll beat up all the fans. They do Cat versus Chris Benoit. Cat's gear here was very close to Vinny V's gear.
Yeah.
A black singlet with baggy gold pants. Now his were leopard print, mine were just goldish orange velour. And he did not have white boots, but he had white tape over his ankles.
How about that? Maybe he went to Tacoma Discount
He
World.
may have.
Yeah.
And he had the words Godfather written
did,
on the
yeah.
back
He's
of
the
his tights.
godfather of soul.
So he managed to have a boring match with Chris Benoit.
Oh, come on. This was fine.
Benoit makes his comeback, which includes a 5-star lariat.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you how great, as a professional wrestler, Christopher Benoit was. Shad at one point attacked him with water, okay?
Yes.
Not like last week where the big boss man attacked someone with a water pitcher
Right.
and broke glass over his head.
Got attacked, but yes.
He didn't even hit him with the plastic bottle. He undid it and he went like this, and water went in Benoit's eyes.
Yes.
Benoit made me believe that he had been blinded by water.
I will say this. I did see the match was boring, but I also wrote, look at Benoit sell for the Cat and even more for Sonny Ono.
That's crazy.
Little tiny Sonny Ono, we've talked about how his kicks, like, they'd hurt you, but he's a small man. He throws a kick to Benoit's ribs, and Benoit's, like, flops 3 feet in the air.
Well, he is a martial arts master, Vinny. It was a pressure point
So,
below the ribs.
on the list of things that are not DQs, Sonny Ono hits the ring and jumps on Chris Benoit's back.
Well, Vinny, quite frankly, that should not be a DQ. It's Sonny Ono on Chris Benoit's back.
So, it leads to the Cat hitting Sonny Ono with a shoe, and Benoit wins with the headbutt in the crossface.
I love that the Revolution was so confident that Benoit would win. They didn't bother coming to the ring with him.
I got a lot.
Yeah, well, you know,
We'll talk about the Revolution later.
Yes.
this was the best Shad match of all time.
Easily.
Had a Sid video package. He had Buff Bagwell versus Vampiro. So they're in Atlanta.
By the way, where are the clowns?
That's a good question.
I think the story was that they tried to get a job with ECW and they were turned down, and WCW found out, so they fired him. I think that's what happened.
But they're back later on.
Well, It's WCW.
It's the clowns. They're clearly very persuasive about getting hired places.
Yes.
Maybe that's why maybe part of it is they just ask all the time, will you hire us? Even though we already have a job here. So the highlight of this match, it's in Atlanta, Buff's the hometown boy, sucks up to the crowd with a promo beforehand. It's a very average wrestling match, kind of sloppy in spots, but Vampiro hooks the chin lock and they're down on the ground. And the camera's right there, and Buff's lying there not moving. But he says, check me. And the ref reaches in, make sure he's alive. And Buff says, raise the hand. Another happens for a while. Raise it! And the ref starts dropping Buff's arm 3 times. And it drops once. He lifts it. It drops twice. And he lifts it again. And Buff fires up. And Atlanta fires up. And they cheer this guy on. And they go back and forth a bit. Buff does some atomic drops where I think he was actually trying to break Vampiro's tailbone.
I think it's more that that right there tells you how important selling is. These are the worst atomic drops of all time. And it was not at all Bagwell's fault. Vamp could not sell an atomic drop. You sit on the guy's knee with your balls, and then you grab them. He could not do that.
Or your ass or tailbone.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean. It's supposed to be your balls.
It's supposed to be your ass.
No, it's supposed to be your balls.
It's a spinal
That's
attack.
a reverse.
That's a reverse atomic drop. He did the one facing him.
You ever fall on your tailbone? It sucks.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, when you're facing away from the guy, that attacks the tailbone. When you're facing towards the guy, it attacks your balls.
Brian, he did it.
Who cares? Who gives a shit? Keep going.
Buff wins the blockbuster. Everyone loves it.
Both atomic drop.
Wrestling needs to bring back the drop the arm 3 times spot.
Yeah.
This is missing from modern wrestling of 28.
I do it.
So the announcers are jibber jabbering and bickering as they did for 3 hours nonstop in the show.
God.
And then we hear Tony.
I think it actually said, "Hey, Tony."
Shivani looks around. Tony. And we see a video. There's like a window and a night and a speech about the beginning of darkness will fall upon you. For those of you who don't remember, Dustin Rhodes is now going to show up as a character named Seven. And we will get to this later, but this was the debut of Seven. So it was at this point on the show, right in the middle of this next angle, I decided I don't know if this is the worst day in the history of the Monday Night Wars, but it is for sure the weirdest.
Okay, I thought the voice and the thing that came next intertwined.
I did too.
I don't blame you.
I thought that was like Luger's voice.
There's a funeral
From the dead.
going on for Lex Luger. We see Lex Luger's body in a casket. We see a woman who, of course, is obviously Liz, but she's got the veil over her face and is dressed all in black.
She's wearing a lampshade.
Lex Luger's ghost sits up out of the coffin, delivers his own eulogy, says Lex Luger was a fine man and a great champion, but he is no longer with us. They teleport outside, where Liz throws flowers into a grave, and you hear Luger's voice over and over again, fine man, great champion, no longer with us. They go into the arena, where the widow removes her veil and mourning outfit to reveal Miss Elizabeth in a hot dress. She actually looked sad.
She did.
Did they not smarten her up? Did she think Lex was actually dead?
Vinny, she always looks like that.
No, usually she looks like she's laughing. So the point is, Lex Luger is no longer Lex Luger. He is now the total package. And he is doing the Chris Masters gimmick where he just flexes a lot. He has the receding hairline ponytail. And it's Lex Luger flexing in 1999. Like, I've been watching this for a decade now. And Tony says, wow, what a moment.
Is that
Tony said that, not Heenan.
Yeah.
Is that why he's been coming out the last 2 weeks covered up completely?
It must be why. I thought he was not in shape. I was incorrect.
He's very lean. Lean and muscular. The doctor's backstage checking.
Can I recap this? This is just...
Oh, God.
Okay, you got to look at the whole thing, not just a segment, but the immediate aftermath. Hogan is having his looked at backstage.
His leg looked
it's
at.
Hulk Hogan, and what did I say?
You said
Having his looked at.
No, his knee looked at.
Yeah.
I said knee.
No, you didn't.
He's having his knee looked at backstage, okay? He's looking at his knee. The doctor's looking at his knee.
Right.
Okay, so there's a doctor and there's Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Looking
And his
at his
fucking
knee.
knee.
Yeah.
All right. So Sting rushes in and he hits his knee with a bat. All right?
Even then.
Would you shut up for a second? Sting rushes in, he whacks him with a bat, and he runs away again, a thief in the night. The doctor screams, and I quote, "What was that about?" Okay? So Sting has run in, hit Hulk Hogan in the knee with a bat in front of the doctor. The doctor is baffled, okay? Sting flees. Hulk Hogan goes down, he's screaming, "Ah, brother!" Screaming and yelling about his leg. And they fucking go back to the announcers, okay? They go from Hogan having a broken leg via bat attack. They go back to the announcers, and Tony says, "Fans, grip and flip wrestlers on sale now."
Closed captioning were available, sponsored by Toy Boy Grip and Flip. Now, I will say this. In Tony's defense,
There is no defense.
I believe that was a pre-tape.
It doesn't matter. Don't air it there.
Well, that's fair. That's a good point. The one thing I can disagree with you on is Sting did not rush in, and he did not flee. Sting slowly stepped in.
Yes.
Almost took a few practice swings, whacks Hulk in the leg, turns, almost looks into the camera, like with a face. His face is, "I can't believe this dipshit fell for this twice in an hour," and he leaves. I laughed and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed.
This fucking guy needs to be put away for a long time.
Dean Malenko versus Rey Mysterio Jr. So they're out there with their gangs.
Yes.
Dean tells Revolution to leave. Ray says, "Filthy animals, you can leave too." Heenan just says, "Two stupid men."
Yes.
So I'm watching this match. It's not very long, but it's very good. And it occurs to me, Lenny Lane has been the Cruiserweight champion for months.
Right.
These two are doing nothing.
Well, no, Vinny. Dean Malenko is a main eventer with the Revolution. And he is flopping right and left. And it was made abundantly clear during this match that there is a role for Dean Malenko. It is not in the main event. It is not as a star. It is not with heavyweights. It is having good cruiserweight matches in the mid-card with small men.
Well said.
That's what this was, and it was great. Not everybody needs to be The Rock.
No, I agree, but you can have him be Cruiserweight champion having great
He
matches
should
every
be
week.
cruiserweight champion.
That
Yes.
was my point. So, during this match, Sid and Steiner arrive in the cheapest, shoddiest rental car pro wrestlers have ever shown to in a building.
Hey, I got to give him credit. A year ago, they would have gotten a very, very, very expensive car.
They would
and
have
destroyed that.
Ruined a stretch Hummer last year.
At least they just destroyed a beater,
Yes.
as the Mean Street Posse would say.
Ray wins the Oklahoma Roll, and they shake hands.
I liked it. It was great.
Very good match.
Goldberg versus Hugh Morris.
Not a very good match.
Yeah, it was fine. Bill decided to do a dropkick this week. It was great.
And that sidekick that ends Brett's career in a few months.
That's also true. So Sid arrives, hits Goldberg with a chair, leaves. Goldberg somehow ends up bleeding from the shin.
Badly.
Yeah, he sells for a bit, kicks out of the moonsault, and then hits the spear and jackhammer and wins. Goldberg
sold
matches
for a bit. He sold for way too fucking long.
Goldberg matches are always fun.
It was fun because it's Goldberg, but that's like This Is Your Life with The Rock.
It did not need to go as long as it did.
No, he's selling for so long that they killed the crowd.
And then they brought him back to life when he made his comeback.
Well, yeah.
They could have killed him for 3 hours, and all it takes is one spear, one jackhammer. They're good.
Yeah, so don't do the heat. Hello?
So Goldberg calls out Sid, who does not come out.
There's one way to book Goldberg. It is not selling for 10 minutes for the laughing man. Humorous.
It is funny. Tony always pronounces it humorous.
He always. Always.
It clearly says Hugh Morris, and I get the joke, but he never even calls him Morris or
No,
Hugh.
he's humorous.
Humorous.
Yeah, like an arm bone.
He's giving the punchline to the joke.
An ambulance leaves.
What was that noise?
He was laughing. Ha
I don't even know anymore. An ambulance leaves. We are left to assume Hulk Hogan is inside.
Yes.
And the Nitro Girls auditions in Atlanta.
Can you believe that these die in the ratings every week? It's astounding.
Crazy.
Nobody gave a shit about Salentria and Jamie Flowers.
Salentria.
That's her
That
name.
was her name, Salentria.
I think it was. There's no N. It's Electria, but who cares?
It was
I
Salentria.
always like that on my Mexican food.
Could you be more racist?
Well,
I'm
it's a lot.
disgusted.
So Kimberly and Charmel are out there to plug voting. Evan Courageous versus Berlin had a 5-minute video and entrance package for a 3-minute match.
This crowd was dead.
This crowd was dead and did not wake up for hours. So the finish was supposed to be Evan would go for a springboard move. The Wall would punch him. He would fall down, and Berlin would hit the neck breaker and win. Evan goes for the springboard. The Wall is nowhere to be seen. Poor Evan has to slip and fall, and then try the springboard again, so this time Wall can punch him. You had one job, Wall, and it was punch Evan Courageous, a job many people would pay for.
Well, maybe he was supposed to punch him when he landed on the rope, but Evan actually slipped. He had to wait till he regained his footing and then punched him.
Anyway, eventually he punched him. Berlin won with a neck breaker. Brad Armstrong hits the ring. He gets destroyed.
Brad Armstrong.
Again.
What? Dude.
Goldberg gets Sid's car keys. Does anyone want to give any more detail?
No.
Okay. David Flair is back.
He's on the phone trying to find Tori.
Trying to call Tori.
They filmed him.
He's trying to call Tori.
It was GTV.
Can't find her. Trying to get the number where she's at. She's clearly avoiding him. This took me back to high school.
Tori, are you there? Where is Tori at? She's not. I can't even do it! I tried! I cannot be as boring as David Flair.
Should I move on? You want to...
I'm determined to get it right, but I can't. I just can't. Damn it.
Harlem Heat and the Winning Brothers had a terrible tag match.
Horrible.
Just awful.
Fucking terrible.
6 men with the rednecks, and 7 with a ref involved. I don't think anyone did their job right.
And then Stevie cheats with a belt to win. Aren't they the babyface?
I don't know.
Fuck this. Let's move on.
It was horrible.
Okay.
Hey, youngsters. Goldberg used the Yellow Pages
Yeah.
and used a landline, which we used to just call a phone.
I just used one.
Yeah.
You did, actually, yeah.
I still have one.
And he's told, he made a call, that's all we know.
Yeah.
Rick Steiner versus Van Hammer, who is so horrible, it sucks watching Steiner torture him.
So apparently this was supposed to be Sid versus Hammer. And Sid showed up and said, I got allergies.
What?
So he didn't wrestle.
Well, Steiner acknowledged this kind of in his promo. He said, Van Hammer is supposed to wrestle Sid, but he's got better things to do, so you're wrestling me.
Yeah.
Implying Steiner had nothing to do.
He had to take an antihistamine.
Jeez.
So they're doing this match. It's really, really boring. And then out of nowhere, Steiner just grabs him and suplexes him into the heavens.
Yeah, on his head.
I ever mentioned how much I love Rick Steiner? He's the best.
Rick Steiner, while he was beating this man, was cackling to himself.
Yes.
It was awesome.
So Charles Robinson is out there. He's Sid's buddy, and thus by proxy, he is also Rick Steiner's buddy. So as Hammer's making his comeback, he goes to throw a horrible punch. Charles Robinson hooks his arm to block it.
Vinny, I watched this like 5 times. That's not what happened. He was hooking him up. He was trying to hook him up for his full Nelson slam.
Okay.
That's why his arms went up. Charles grabs his arm to stop a full fucking Nelson.
Okay.
Tony Schiavone is aghast. He goes, he put him in a top wrist lock.
Yeah.
And there's a pause and he goes, whatever.
Yes, that's the point.
I can do Schiavone. I can't do David Flair.
A referee has just blatantly interfered in a match to decide the match, and Tony's only response is, whatever.
I laughed so hard when he said that.
You're so broken.
He is done.
Robert Schiavone and Heenan are both just destroyed. Steiner wins with the Bulldog. Mean Gene brings up Bret Hart for an interview.
Oh, my God. So Bret Hart, we haven't seen him since Luger hit him in the eye with a bat.
Right.
Or in the face. And Gene goes, they show 3 replays of Luger hitting with the bat.
None of them looked good.
And Gene says, Bret, how are you doing after Sting hit you with that baseball bat? I'm like, you watched 3 fucking angles and you don't know who hit him with the bat? Bret Hart, he got hit so hard in the face with that bat that I Googled it to try to find out if, like, he needed a reconstructive surgery on his face. It was so brutal. They showed replay after replay after replay. Gene Okerlund then says, how's your face? And Bret goes, had a couple of stitches. Now, Luger and Sting, I'm back. I got no respect for you guys. You're the lowest of the low, the scum of the earth. Hulk Hogan is the Elvis. I'm like, got fucking in the face, full on with a fucking baseball bat. Why are you blowing this off? This is Bret Hart. What?
I don't know. I had no answer for you. All I know is he said Hogan is the Elvis Presley of wrestling. Flair comes out. Bret says Ric Flair is the best there is, best there was, best there will be. At this point, I was certain that Bret Hart was turning tonight.
Yes.
There's no way he'd butter up to these guys if he was not. So Flair is extra crazy. All he does is scream the bad guys' names, do a move, and shout, woo!
Brett is howling.
Yes.
He cannot keep a straight face
He's usually
looking
so
at this idiot.
Stonewall, and he's smirking and cracking up, trying to hide his smile. It's great.
So he drops these elbows, fake low blows, and then screams, Liz, you want to get in the ring? I'll ride you too, baby. And Brett's like...
And Schiavone says, geez.
What the fuck?
David finally reaches Tori.
Oh, God.
Where's Tori? Tori is hanging out with the filthy animals, who will rush over to surround her to tell each other to be quiet. Mm-hmm. That's the whole segment, is these guys are giggling in the background, and David can hear them, and he can hear Tori telling them to shut up, but he doesn't know who she's with.
I wrote high schoolers, but it was more like
7th graders.
a teen girl sleepover.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
All right. So you got a teen girl sleepover on one, and you got on the other channel men running a train.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually true.
It's a really fucked up time in this business, Craig.
Oh, so David says he'll see her when she gets there, and he hands her the phone, and she's appalled. He hung up on me.
Yeah. Then she goes, ha 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 ha. It's my Tory laugh.
It's a good one.
I can do Tory better than I can do David Flair.
Oh, I bet you could.
Get out of here.
Sid goes,
This is a family show.
fuck yeah.
Your comedy is so bad, Vinny. It's so predictable. Unlike the comedy on this show here.
Sid goes backstage to the lackey who had his keys and gave them to Goldberg when Goldberg just said, give me the keys.
I would give him his keys too.
Well, it's Goldberg. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But Sid says, where's my keys?
We made a great movie.
Maybe
Maybe that's where I got it.
So where's my keys? The car guy says, Goldberg took your keys. And Sid says, Goldberg! Oh, good God! And he storms off.
So good.
How does Sid win worst on promo?
I fucking have asked that for weeks now. It's ridiculous. David didn't win.
Conan versus fucking Saturn.
Terrible.
When this had to go longer than This Is Your Life.
Oh, finally you've seen the light.
It was better, but it was longer.
Oh, come on.
So Conan is blown up before they go to the first commercial break, but they still keep on going.
I truly believe Perry Saturn went out there with the thought in mind, I'm going to blow up Conan as quickly as
I
possible.
can blow up Conan.
That's true.
Perry Saturn's a finely tuned athlete. I have no problem blowing. I've seen Conan blow up coming to the ring before. So Saturn's out there with a dummy, a mannequin, trying to drag it to a match,
Sure.
which is basically, I'll put him in a hold, we'll both lie here, then I will suplex him to the sky. This match is so ungodly boring. The announcers are arguing about arguing. And
Sounds familiar.
Heenan says, or Tony says, you love pro wrestling. Heenan says, I love it because they pay me. And Tony says, no, you've been doing this for years. You've been doing it your whole life. You love pro wrestling. It's a long pause. And Heenan softly says, I also love slamming my hand in a car door. And there's a long pause. And Tony says, I'm sorry about that, everyone. He touched a nerve. So this long, slow, boring match.
This show's only going to get worse. I'm so happy.
It's going on forever and ever and ever. And then a bunch of random luchadors attack for the DQ. Ah!
I read in The Observer
Jesus.
that these Mexicans, okay, it's like Psychosis, Hoovy, Chavo.
Silver King was out there.
So apparently, they asked Disco Inferno to be part of this group. And he said no.
Why?
Because it's fucking WCW. Okay, this would only be funny if he came out as just doing offensive stereotypes. If he came out with a sombrero. Oh, okay, so there's a brawl going on between the Luchadors and the Filthy Animals and the Revolution. And then Shane Douglas pulls Saturn out of the fight. Revolution all shouts at each other. And they leave. And I wrote here, man, Revolution sucks. Little did I know what was to come later. Sid goes outside. His piece of crap car is still there. He looks around.
His piece of shit car.
I wrote crap. He looks to his right. He looks to his left. No Goldberg. He assumes everything is fine. He goes back inside. He still doesn't have his car keys. Goldberg has the car keys. So as he leaves, a tow truck arrives. After the break, they have loaded Sid's car onto the tow truck. Goldberg tells the driver, be sure you bring it back by 11.
Or no tip.
Mean Gene interviews DDP, brags about his wife, runs down the fans, brags about his partners tonight. That was it. Kidman versus Psychosis, mask versus hair.
Believe it or not, this actually did a really good quarter hour for WCW.
Well, I'm glad the fans at home liked it because the fans in the building didn't give two shits.
Well, they hadn't given two shits about anything for like at least an hour.
So Kidman's out there. His hair is on the line. If he loses, he's going to get shaved, bald, and humiliated in front of the whole world.
Yes.
So the only thing of note early, besides the boring chants, was Psychosis hitting a gourd buster and Shivani calling it a reverse powerbomb.
Well, it kind of is, I guess.
So suddenly, Chavo is in the ring and doing a tornado DDT. Hoovy's in there doing a Hoovy driver. Where the hell are the Filthy Animals?
Well,
Why are they
it
not
is
watching-
ridiculous that they don't come out until
I got the
very
Filthy Animals and Revolution confused, but they left their friend out there to just get to die.
Yes.
So he overcomes it all, fights them off, wins a shooting star. He gets to keep his hair. The last 2 minutes of this were good. It took him a long time to get there. And everyone attacks Kidman, but he yanks off Psychosis's mask and he runs away.
Yeah, he did the... Well, what happened was...
I cut to the chase.
Kidman does his run-of-the-ropes bulldog and yanks the mask off in mid-move. So, here's my only problem with this here very quickly. It's a mask versus hair match. You built it up for a week, you paid it off, okay? Psychosis loses, he refuses to take his mask off. So Kidman has to do a run-up-the-ropes bulldog and yank it off in mid-move. Awesome spot. So you know what happens? Psychosis whips his hair back for a moment. You see his face for a split second, and then he puts his hair back over his face, and he flees. What bullshit?
You never get to see his face.
Jesus, well, you see next week, but for fuck's sake.
So they're doing both shows had segments where people were walking backstage and things went haywire. Hunter almost fell on his ass. At this point, we see Sting, Page, and Luger, and they're walking, and it's a long shot. They're walking for a while, and they get closer to the camera, and closer, and closer, and closer, and now we have a close-up of Lex Luger's confused face, and you hear Page say, "We got a red light, my friend," and then it goes off. I don't know what happened, but
He was telling the cameraman to turn the goddamn camera off.
Aha.
Yes. Although I don't know why he'd tell the cameraman. It's the production guys that are supposed to cut away from it.
Or maybe he's telling Lex the camera's still live.
I could have told him that too, yeah.
I think that's what it was. Sting and Total Package and DDP versus Bret Hart and Ric Flair. Hey, look, it's Sting Flair. And they did the exact same match at the Clash of Champions Braun and I just watched on Sunday.
Yep.
Or whenever it was.
Yep. They were just younger then.
They were much younger then. So, heat on Bret for a while. Flair gets a hot tag. And we're now, if we have not already been there, we are in the point in the Monday Night Wars where whenever there is a hot tag, everyone jumps up and looks up the aisle to see who is going to run in.
Yep.
Well, I mean, hold on a second. You're right, Vinny, okay? But, and actually, this doesn't even count for the fans, but earlier in the show, Hulk Hogan is taken out twice by Sting, okay? Hulk Hogan says, "I'm going to the hospital."
Right.
Tony Schiavone says, "Well, we know he'll come back at the end of the show." So no shit everybody was expecting Hulk Hogan to come out during this match. Yeah. And you know what happened? He fucking didn't.
Not until the match is over. So the finish, you'll never guess, Lex Luger attacked Flair with a bat for the DQ.
Oh my God. Okay, so I can't read everyone's mind, but I've seen a lot of angry crowds. When there was a DQ at the end of a main event on Nitro, this was the most angry booing. This was not booing like they were booing the heels. This was red hot, furious booing from these fans. Fuck you for another DQ, they were saying.
Someone who has more time than I do needs to go back through these shows and determine how many Nitro main events ended in DQs. It seems like it's literally every week.
Yeah.
For all year.
Easily 90%.
So, Brett's in the Scorpion, Flair's in the Torture Rack, and Hogan limps out in his brace and beats up everyone on one leg. He clears house with a bat, and that's the end of the show.
You know what? Here's the key, too, by the way. Here's the key, too. I say it feels like 90% of, easily 90% of the finishes are fuck finishes or DQs, right? Someone like Mookie could very well go and look through all of them and say, believe it or not, it's actually only 64%. But the key is, it fucking feels like 90% or more. And I actually believe it is 90%. There's no fucking way it's 64.
I can't remember the last time there was a finish on a Nitro main event.
It's just impossible, okay? But, like, it's just too much. And, you know, someone on the board who was reviewing this said this was the best Nitro of the last month. What?
No. That was a couple weeks ago.
A bad Nitro this was. A bad wrestling show.
Now, all of that said, I was mistaken earlier when I said the show was over.
No, not yet.
There's 10 seconds left.
Oh, yes.
The greatest 10 seconds of any wrestling show I think I've ever seen. Sid leaves the building. I guess he found his keys finally.
Sure.
He opens the door. He steps outside. We only see his face. Oh my God! What happened to my car? The camera zooms out. His car has been flattened. Smushed into a cube.
Yes. His piece of shit car.
Piece of shit car is now a piece of shit cube. He is out there screaming, Goldberg! Where are you? Goldberg! And he looks to the sky. Goldberg! That made both shows worth it.
So bad.
No, that was the best.
I mean, it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Not gonna lie. But God, you know what this was? It was one of those things that we see every week nowadays on Raw and SmackDown. This feud's got to keep going, so we got to come up with a story. Oh, I got it! Goldberg is going to take Sid's keys, steal his piece of shit car, send it and get it squished into a cube and brought back at the end of the show. And Sid's going to be mad. Oh, people will buy this pay-per-view in droves. Booking.
Who cares?
Storytelling.
I got to see Sid screaming Goldberg's name by himself in that parking lot. Oh, God, let's do our finishes.
Are you ready, Vinny?
Yes. The finishes on this show were submission after botched interference, clean pin by a hometown hero.
Oh.
Clean pin by another hometown hero.
God damn.
Pin after interference.
It's impossible.
Pin after belt shot. Pin thanks to crooked ref. DQ due to Mexican invasion. Pin despite interference in a mask match. DQ due to belt shot.
Are you telling me that they got rid of Eric Bischoff and now people are winning in their hometown and the fans are happy about it?
Shocking.
Son of a fucking bitch. That's crazy. You know that's the wrong way to do things, Vinny. You must be beaten in your hometown.
It's the only way to get heat.
Heat!
Yeah.
All right, we're out of time, everybody. What a show. What a show this was.
This covered a vast majority of...
Indeed it did. I hope you enjoyed it all. We're going to be back on Thursday with another one. Myself and Vinny, NXT, and the Mae Young Classic. We saw Mae Young Classic tonight, actually.
We actually did. Classic Mae Young.
Yeah. So you can look for that. And then tomorrow, we'll have Filthy Tom, Lance coming up on Friday, Dave, Semper Vivi, Observer Live. So much great stuff. So yeah, I guess we'll talk to you again after a while.
Good night.
Adios.
Just didn't want it to stop.
Yeah. Haven't we hit the 1 hour 11 mark yet?